With Counterpunch Boxing News on a midweek card, we have Opetaia versus David Inca in the Gold Coast in Australia, ready to throw those bowls. We are here alive and in living color. And I am always very feel. Let's go. Right now, we have Zhang versus Mahoney, and they're banging it out right now. When you guys come in, please hit that like button. Let's change the algorithm. Let's change the narrative. I mean, we could do that on our own by the support that we have for the channel, and we're going to have the men versus the boys. And this separates that now because we know David Inca has the height, has the reach. Does he have the power? Does he have the tenacity over Opetaia? Okay, Opetaia still looks like a savage beast when he looked eye to eye in David Inca, and these guys look like they're ready for war. And I'm looking at this fight that we have in front of us is a good tune-up fight for an undercard. Let's see where we got here. Who is on line with me? Okay. Zhang is definitely the pressure fighter. Mahoney is definitely the boxer. So Mahoney's trying to punch around Zhang's punches. Zhang's really tough. He's like the wall that keeps moving forward. Mahoney is like the moving boxer that wants to stay out of the way and still score points. So that's what we're looking at. So we're looking at Mahoney. You know, it depends on really basically what type of fighter. Mexico, definitely Zhang would get on fights like this, especially his style, move forward, come together, throw combinations, and all that good stuff. So that's what we have so far. I think this is round 9, okay? And I believe this is round 9 of 10, I believe. I've never really done a midweek card, so this is the first for me to cover. But, of course, you know, this is in Australia. So let it be what it is. It is 4:22 a.m. my time. So yeah, you know, I went to sleep early, which was a good thing. I'm glad it wasn't late, up grinding and, you know, doing what I do. So I went to sleep early, man. You know, I was out probably before 10 o'clock. I was done. So that's a good thing. So this is right before the Cachava time. I may wait to do the Cachava, but it's on ice right now, so I like it cold, you know, when I throw it down my chest. Ooh, good right hand from Mahoney. Zhang comes in with that double jab. Ooh, good right hand. Another right hand from Zhang. Mahoney mentioned that Sugar Ray Leonard is one of his favorite fighters. I can see why, because you can definitely tell this is more like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hagler here. Good hook by Mahoney, good jab by Zhang, because Zhang's moving forward, but he's not forgetting to punch. Because a lot of fighters just like to move forward and then get close enough to throw a solid shot, and then they let their shots go. Zhang is letting his shots go as he moves forward, that's the thing to do. Because at times, Mahoney goes back. He tries to go side to side, which is recommended, okay? Never go back. But at times, he has no choice because Zhang is moving forward with that shot. TC, spider crawling under your portrait. What? Don't play with me. Cruiserweight is so boring now. Haney versus Shakur, who's good? Haney versus Shakur. I don't know. I think it's really up to Shakur, because Shakur needs to come out of his comfort zone, because I think Haney is going to fight at 140. I think it's only fair that Shakur should come at 140. You know. Now you got me looking. Thy enemies, thy flee your pains, me bring bliss. the final boss, Luca Moore, in the building. Counterpunch to you. Guys, hit that like button as you come in. Ooh, good left hook from Zhang. Oh, good left hook from Mahoney. See, Mahoney's boxing and moving, back, back, and then stepping. You know, that's what he's doing. I appreciate the like from whoever paid attention. Dude, Mahoney's boxing and moving, man. He's boxing and moving, but then Zhang's getting his spots too. Good jab, good left hook from Zhang. And see, the moment when Mahoney stops, that's exactly when Zhang comes on. Oh, good left hook. They trade left hook. Good round number 9. Okay, appreciate your final boss for that like. Let's hit that like button. Let's get like the final boss in the building. Did whites free you so you could stay, or did we free you so we could leave? I don't know what that means. Zili Zhang's son is doing well. Is that Zili Zhang's son? Is that really his son? Any interesting fights on the undercard here? Not really, man. Not that I could see. I think we have Terramona. Terramona is on the card, so I don't know what order he's fighting at. Let's see. Mama Lou in the building. Counterpunch to you. Yeah, I think we got our work cut out for us because remember, this is like about 4 in the morning. We got some weird people coming in. Ooh, good left hook from Mahoney and good straight right from Zhang. And I think Zhang's from Korea. I'm not Korea, but Japan, though, if I'm not mistaken. BVO Boxing TV salute. Counterpunch to you, bro. When you guys, ooh, good left hook from Mahoney. Look, Mahoney, I think he senses Zhang. Oh, good right from Zhang. Good left from Mahoney. Another good right from Mahoney. Off the cut, right hand from Mahoney. Dude, and Zhang nods and moves forward. Yeah, that's a tough bloke. That's a tough bloke right there. I appreciate you, man. Can you have given me a lot of motivation, my brother? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Ooh, good body shots from Mahoney. Left hook from Mahoney. Mahoney tried to turn it up, and Zhang just like, yeah, that's what I want. But Zhang, he's still constant. You know, Zhang reminds me a lot of Joe Joyce. That's how Joe Joyce fights. Joe Joyce moves forward. Joe Joyce takes punches. Joe Joyce gives punches. That's how Joe Joyce runs it. You know what I mean? Okay, so that is the end of the round. And Mahoney was just really trying to close the show, which he did a good job. So it's interesting to see how these judges will have it because you have two different styles. One moves forward, takes what you got, gives what they have. Other fighter boxes and moves and wants to win on points. So we will see what that is. I would definitely give that a Mahoney round because Mahoney did turn up. He turned up with one, two, three, four, five shot combinations, right? And he turned it up. But then he ate some leather too from Zhang. Terramona Jr., Terramona versus Martin McCauley would be a good future fight. Yeah, in time. In a couple years, not now. But like you said, a future fight. So I do agree with you. That would be a good future fight. But let's see what Terramona Jr. is about. Let's see what he can do, at the level he's at now. See, we push these fighters and we push these fighters to do certain things, man. And, it's just based off like, I could kind of see a fight. But let's see what they do while they're climbing and stepping up those stairs. Can't wait for the main event. Nice guy is a big dude and can bring, but leaves himself too open. I think Jai will choose to box. If he goes toe to toe, he could flop tonight. Well, I mean, fighting a big dude like that is what it is. But I think Jai is smarter, though. One thing I noticed about Jai Opetaia, I think he's learned from the Bradis fight because the Bradis fight was definitely a wake-up call. The Bradis fight, man, when he got his jaw broken, if that first Bradis fight, and then you look at the second Bradis fight, you can see the differences between how he chose to fight the guy. Okay? He fought Bradis differently in that second fight. He came boxing in the second fight. The first fight, he came to slug to prove a point, and he almost lost his bottom jaw for it, too, if you noticed. So he knew exactly what to do in the second fight. So yeah, he circumvents on certain fights. Okay, Art Garfunkel Art. Joe Joyce is slower than Joe Bungner. I don't know who Joe Bungner is. Kurt Jai Opetaia versus Moses Atoma would also be a good future fight. I would like to see how Moses deals with somebody else with speed. So Jack's man Pennant, I do feel you on that because you don't really know how certain fighters respond to certain styles. That's why styles make fights. See, a lot of times these guys are not ready for those type of challenges. Jai Opetaia has, a speed factor of his own. The way he throws combinations, that footwork, that ability to move back and forwards and around the ring like he does, it makes it harder for someone like Moses. Just looking at both of them now, okay? I don't know, in a couple years it may be different because we don't know how Jai would respond in the heavyweight division. Will he still have the attributes? More than likely he will, but, I'm just saying. It would be interesting to see how he takes those shots. Duck Nello is rumored to be fighting the IBF mandatory William Skull from Assassin's Creed. Bare knuckle fighting Alvarez versus Stevens. What do you guys think about the bare knuckle championships, or the knuckle mania they call it? Winky Wright was my favorite boxer. He's so underrated. Damn it, Bobby. Yeah, man, I think so. He really is. I really, it just shows you how the house fighter gets nods that they shouldn't get. You know what I mean? And, they will always favor the fighter that's the house fighter. You know what I mean? Ooh. Look at Balanga did to McCrory. But no, I think that yeah, he caught that boy with a shot. But no, Winky Wright outboxed Vargas. Fernando Vargas, you know, here's the thing though. Fernando Vargas wasn't a protected fighter. I just think he, as far as fights go, okay, yeah, he hit Wilder right on the nose, bro. I kept looking at that fight with Zhang and Wilder. But anyway, back to Winky and Vargas. You know, Vargas was a guy that, you know, he wanted to fight all these tough guys. Okay. Oh, yeah, they stopped that fight. You know what I mean? But he did get up from that shot, though. It wasn't like he just got knocked out cold. But the way his head hit the canvas, that was not healthy. That was not healthy at all. But no, man, but Winky, he beat a lot of those guys, and Winky just did not get credit for it, not right then. You know, Winky Wright was one of those guys that people avoided. You know, see, there's a reason why Fernando Vargas fought Winky Wright versus someone like Oscar De La Hoya fighting Winky Wright. And looking at what Felix Stern did to De La Hoya at 160, I could pretty much tell that was a good barometer to see what someone like Winky Wright could do at 154 to De La Hoya. De La Hoya could throw combinations, but I mean, they look good, but that doesn't mean that they were going to help him against someone like Winky Wright. Even though De La Hoya has power, and he had power at 154 as well as 147. But understand this: someone like Winky Wright, that that came forward, his gloves, those mitts are always up. Those habits that he had with protection was bar to none. He protected himself. Yeah, it was a bad decision. Art Garfunkel. Yeah, it was. It was a bad decision. I don't remember the scorecards. I don't remember how far apart they were, to be fair. But I know that Winky Wright like landed like 300 jabs in that fight. You know what I mean? Winky Wright did, what he's supposed to do in that fight. And, because he wasn't the house fighter, because he was just there to get a check. A lot of times these fighters are just there to get certain checks. Big Sean, do you YK who Rocky Marciano? Do you know who Rocky Marciano is? Yeah, I know Rocky Marciano. I sure do. And he's considered like a small heavyweight. In fact, he's smaller than Jai Opetaia is. Rocky Marciano. Opetaia versus Inca. Oh, okay. Retracted. All right. Um, Abdul Salam Sayman. No, that gives somebody epilepsy, dude, with all that. Who wins, Zhang versus Bacali? I'm not sure. I would have to go off the top of my head. Zhang early, Bacali late. But then again, I think they both, big as they are, have stamina issues moving into later rounds. See that shoe shine job that Zhang did of Anderson. That was only 5 rounds. That was only 5 rounds. That was only a 5 round thing. So, I would like to see what have happened if, Bacali would have in fact got, or Anderson would have survived to 7, 8, 9, 10, down in those rounds to see where the stamina was from a guy that was once smaller but now bigger. Just like Zhang was. And if you look at all these fighters, right? The weight correlates with the inability to go farther in the rounds with stamina. So that should tell you that the more fighters, the bigger fighters are, and they get bigger, sure, that makes them more dangerous because it adds to the punching power with the weight behind the punches when they throw punches. But it also shows you, though, that same weight will betray them later on. They have issues with having a gas tank because that's what it does. It suppresses your gas tank being that big. You know, Rocky's lucky he didn't take the Liston comeback fight. Liston KO won. Well, I don't even think. Here's the thing about Rocky Marciano. I think we need to give Rocky more credit. I think it would have been looking at Rocky Marciano versus Sonny Liston would be like watching Joe Frazier versus George Foreman. Think about what I just said. The similarities of the way they fought, the come forward, move forward style, you know, work the body, will of iron, have to be closer to those fighters. I think that coming in, trying to get or trying to close the gap would be destructive, very destructive. It would be a bad night for Rocky. And I think Rocky's tough enough for us to witness a beatdown because Rocky's not going to quit because he doesn't know quit. So if a fighter doesn't know quit, like Joe Frazier didn't know quit against a younger, bigger, stronger, taller Sonny Liston, Frazier didn't know that against Foreman. I don't think Rocky would have knew that either. Who wins David Tua versus George Foreman, prime for prime? I'm not sure because David Tua, you had two stages of David Tua. You had the David Tua that was ball headed, that was 223, 224, that was like a Samoan cutout version of Mike Tyson. You had that guy, but then you also had the David Tua that was 30 pounds heavier, that was 252 pounds, that had a high kid and play high top fade that he grew over that time of gaining 30 pounds. And that guy was, I think, hit harder, but I also think his mobility was definitely retarded. Okay. It retarded his mobility with all that weight. I think that slowed him down, the weight. I think the 223-pound Tua could punch more. He had better stamina. I think that's where he's supposed to be. I don't think he hit as hard at 223 than at 252. But I do think that David Tua is a guy that, that shows you the difference between the pros and cons. The pros of being 252 is, yeah, I can hit a guy with one shot and take him out. You know what I'm saying? But the cons of being 252 is I'm not going to throw but 10 punches around. Versus the 203-pound version of David Tua was a guy that could throw 20 to 30 punches around and work the body and slow you down and eventually get that knockout. But he does have knockout power as well. So which one would you want? That guy that can maybe hit you with one shot at 252, but you're only throwing 10 punches around and you're sitting there taking shots and trying to get forward with your slow mobility because your ass is 250 pounds and you're 5'10"? Or would you want that fighter that is mobile, that can get over shots, that can move forward, that can give a fighter more to worry about at 223 pounds, that can throw more punches? You see what I mean? So so you're looking at two different Tuas. So if he fought the 223-pound Tua, 223-pound Tua would give George Foreman a more run for his money, whereas the 252-pound Tua, he's only dangerous if he can catch you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like almost like someone like Andy Ruiz almost. You know? Do you remember David Tua fought Hugh Janus from the UK? I don't. I don't remember that fight. Damn it, Bobby. Kevin Pavlik was a dog in the ring. Kelly the Ghost Pavlik. Yeah, I remember him, man. He whooped Jermaine Franklin twice. He was the guy that upset the apple cart with Jermaine Franklin, and that's after Jermaine Franklin beat Bernard Hopkins twice. That was a very interesting time. That was 20 years ago, okay? And when he beat Jermaine Franklin, it wasn't just... Jermaine Franklin showed us that he had stamina issues. His lifestyle out of the ring was showing inside the ring. This cat dropped Kelly Pavlik with the speed because he had the ability. Jermaine Taylor had the ability. And he just showed you that the ability is nothing without dedication and discipline. You can be as good as you want to be. It's almost like Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner has the ability, but that doesn't mean that he has the discipline, and to enforce and to be constant with his ability, to show his ability round after round. Jermaine Taylor was a guy that he didn't have that. He did the same thing with Kelly Pavlik. Kelly Pavlik eventually tracked him down and knocked him out. Same thing happened with Carl the Cobra Froch. Carl the Cobra Froch, he had less ability. And I like how Carl explained it. Like, look, I wasn't as faster. I didn't hit as hard. I didn't have the ability, but I had the discipline because I knew I was in shape. I knew eventually if I came forward with Jermaine Taylor, I'm going to eventually wear him down. And that was my game plan. I could not stop trying to cut off the ring, trying to be in position. I could not get it discouraged. I had to be where I needed to be to throw the punches, to land the shot punches. That's where he needed to be. Yeah, it's Gonzalez. Yeah, I caught that, man. Johnny Chapo in the building. Yes, sir. Jermaine Taylor. So Jermaine Taylor just showed me in the Kelly Pavlik fights what he was about. This dude was a party animal. He had issues with substance abuse and other things that were distractions for him. He could have been a much better fighter than he was. But the outside issues, of course, got him in there. Ed Ellerby, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Ibel Bucci's got a job brushing his teeth. Who you got for the night? I have Jai Opetaia. I'm going with Jai. Roy Jones is the greatest boxer ever by a whisker over James Toney. That was a very hard fight to look at. But it just showed you raw skill. Very good fighter versus an all-time great fighter. James Toney, very good fighter. Legend in his own right. Hall of Famer, sure. All-time great, no. Roy Jones, all-time great. See, there's differences. There's levels to this. There are names above Roy Jones. I'd say Jake Paul outdoes him. Let me get my Kachava on that. This guy says Jake Paul over Roy Jones. What are y'all smoking? What are y'all smoking this morning? What are y'all smoking this morning? I noticed that as Skip, I've been deleting. Kurt, I can ban people who comment explicit things about children. More and more of these comments are on your videos. Yeah, man, get them out of there. Get them out. I haven't caught them. I noticed a lot of that, man. It's a lot of sick people around, bro. To even joke about that shows you something's wrong with your brain. Something's definitely wrong with you. So yeah, please, pretty please, with sprinkles on top, get these guys out. These people, get them out off, get those comments off, clean up the channel. Let's make this channel great again. Next fight after Honey's fight. Okay, cool. Kurt, prime Ray Mercer versus prime David Tua would be a war. It would be a war. Ray Mercer versus David Tua. Here's my thing. You stick that David Tua in, that 252-pound David Tua against Ray Mercer in the 90s, Ray Mercer would chop David Tua down. And it would be one of those things where it's like hitting a punching bag that moves forward that can sometimes hurt you. But let's face it, 80% of David Tua's punches, they would have to be, the way he wins is by knockout. I'm sorry, Simon's pretty good. You can tell he is good. Good right. He ran into a good right uppercut though. McIntyre saw that, especially being the taller fighter. Bap, good 1-2 from Simon. There's a lot of the comments from accounts that are impersonating other accounts and commenting weird crap, just like fake St. Don account. No, I got Lennox Lewis. Who's Lennox Lewis? Lennox Lewis or Usyk? That's a tough one, man, because Lennox Lewis, you know, I'm trying to see who Lennox fought though. Because to be fair, Lennox Lewis didn't fight someone like Chris Bird. He never fought anyone like Chris Bird. So, we never really seen him with anyone that that had that type of style. You see what I mean? So it would be very interesting to see how Lennox Lewis would would fight someone like Usyk. Would because I think he would try to throw more punches, and I think he would be more aggressive than someone like Tyson Fury. And looking and seeing what Tyson can do, it would be disrespectful to say that Lewis could not land the same shots that Tyson Fury landed. However, I'll say this though. Lewis, I've never seen Lewis in there with someone that tricky like that. I never seen him in there with like a Chris Bird. And that's the only person that I could really compare Usyk to back in those days, and Lewis didn't fight him. So it would be kind of hard to say, well, Lewis versus, Usyk. Maybe the Usyk now, you know. Sir, I have a boxing match on the 23rd of February. I just wanted to share it. Boxing kudos. Counterpunch to you. Where's it going to be? Philip, boxing has been rigged to a degree forever. And now the whole Paul brothers that need to cut their hair, their team opponents, and the house winning from the belts. Well, I'll say this. I mean, he didn't beat Tommy Fury. He didn't beat Tommy Fury by decision. So, I mean, I wonder where was the protection in that fight. Ricardo Mayorga was a good entertainer. You remember him? Yeah, I remember Ricardo Mayorga. He was the first man to dethrone the great Vernon Forrest. I got Usyk. He's too skillful in there would be knockdowns or knockouts. I don't know. I don't know how Usyk would have dealt with someone like Lennox Lewis, because Lennox Lewis was very poised. See, Lennox would sit back and throw that jab, and he was very accurate with his jab, But then again, it's no one to compare him to that Lennox Lewis fought at that time. That's why it's difficult to say, oh well, he would have did this to Usyk. Well, who did he fight like Usyk? Okay, so it's kind of difficult to say that. Now I'm pretty sure, I'm quite confident if Lennox Lewis caught Usyk with some shots that he caught those fighters with that he fought. Yeah, I think that I think that he could put Usyk down. I think that he can do those type of things. That's if he landed those shots. That's if Usyk wasn't, if he didn't respect Usyk's punching power. Yeah, he would have probably, ate a few of those Usyk shots to land his own. Definitely. Philip, but I did win on the Garcia fight 101. I forget 1200. Okay. Jack's man, Kurt, what about Alexander Usyk versus a prime Ray Mercer? I'm not sure. Cause see, those 90 guys they were different fighters altogether, man. You had some tough, and that was a tough era, the 90s. You know what I mean? If you look at those fighters from the 90s and you throw them into now, a lot of those 90 fighters like Ray Mercer and and Riddick Bowe or a Holyfield back then. You know what I mean? Like those guys probably would have wiped out the division. They would have ended up fighting each other. They would have probably whooped everybody here, and then you got them left fighting each other from the same era. That's how tough that era was. That's how good those guys were. Okay? Barabucci would definitely beat Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, and Mike. Art, I think he would probably have to knock out Lewis. Because I don't think he was just this supreme boxer. I just think that he would have to knock out Lennox Lewis and stop him to get him out of there. I don't think that, like Lennox is not what you think he is. But here's the thing, though. It depends on when Lennox Lewis fought him. Because remember, the last fight that Ika Barabucci had, wasn't it in 1999? You know, I mean, though, like, he was probably one of the best up and coming fighters that they had, and he was doing things to fighters that were already on that level. See, David Tua never been beat. Chris Bird never been beat. Chris Bird decision David Tua. Okay, and that was very impressive, and that was very surprising because I thought David Tua, with the power that he had, could definitely run over someone like Chris Bird. Especially what we know now that he claims that, oh, well, I wasn't even supposed to be at heavyweight. Good right hand counter from McIntyre. Usyk been ducking Charlie Z for a minute now. Okay, Alas. Usyk should have got the stoppage in the first fight. Yeah, he should have, but he didn't. Philip, what was the odds though? Did the favorite win? Yes, my point. I don't know if he was a favorite or not. By the way, assuming I don't know who you're talking about. I forget. No one beat Ika Barabucci. No one did beat Ika Barabucci. That's right. But then again, Ike didn't get farther enough to show, because I mean, eventually, if he would have just kept mowing over people, running through people, knocking out people, he would have got his shot at some sanctioning body somewhere. But I mean, he was just mentally unstable. And here's the whole thing on Ika Barabucci. Ika Barabucci, a lot of people question his ability to his mental ability based on the damage that he took. See, that David Tua fight, yeah, he beat David Tua, but he took shots from David Tua that normal people don't take. So, ooh, good right hand from McIntyre. Ooh, good right hand. That was a legitimate knockdown. Straight right. Simon stayed there too long. He stayed there too long. He should have turned. And McIntyre took control of that. Right hand, right up the pipe. Flash knockdown, but it was a legitimate knockdown. Um, but no, Ike Barabucci was, man, he was he was pretty, like, the dude was mentally unstable. I don't know how. I don't know what was going on with him, but I mean, I think, things that, I see that's real mental illness. I don't think that Tyson suffers from something like that, or if he does, it's not nearly as severe. Okay, for him to, oh well, my mental illness and this is my mental. No, dude, you just didn't know how to handle fame. You don't blame that on mental illness. It just, you're not very responsible with in certain situations. Phil, Cerno Horsky subbing. I'll pop in and out. Health, wealth, prosperity to you and all loved ones for the chat, and you have a good day or night. Philip, appreciate you, brother. Are the current heavyweights softer than the 90s? I think so. I don't think they're anywhere near the 90s. I think only a few could even last in the 90s. Because you have to keep in mind, we have bigger heavyweights now, and the bigger heavyweights are not as mobile or not as gifted. You know what I mean? And see, the punching power, I think Usyk showed you. Oh, they stopped this fight. Man, this was quick. That fast? Okay. I wouldn't agree to that. But anyway, Usyk showed us that you don't have to have this dynamite Deontay Wilder, David Tua / Mike Tyson knockout power to be relevant in this sport. You see what I mean? Like, yes, they have, some of these fighters have it, but what else do they lack? They lack a lot more than what they have. Like, look at Wilder. Wilder couldn't hook off the jab. This man couldn't hook off the damn jab. But his right hand, people overlooked it because he hit so hard. Well, I showed people and pleaded with people, not hating on Wilder. I'm just telling people, like, yo, that's going to get the best of Wilder one day. Watch and wait. Wait and watch. It's not going to be like people think it is, and it's going to be bad. or the current heavy. Okay, how would you rank David Tua in this era? In this era, to be fair, I wouldn't rank David Tua at all in this era because here's the catch: David Tua is 5'9" or 10. Give him an inch or whatever. He's like Canelo's height. And you put this guy in there with guys that are extremely abnormally big. This era, the normal fighter is 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", in that height range. Someone like those, Lennox Lewis being 6'4" or 5", right, showed you why guys that are 5'9" or 10 can't deal with someone with that type of height, and all he needed was that height in box. All he needed to do was box David Tua. You know, he didn't do anything special against David. He just showed that, hey, he kept his hands up. He boxed David Tua. He made him miss. He made him pay. I mean, you know, like, that's like putting David Tua in there with someone like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury would beat David Tua in a boring fight because he doesn't, I don't even think he has the chop or the power to stop David Tua, but I mean, he could still, you know, dance around him. Darnell Nicholson was a guy that was just outboxing David Tua until he got caught. The only way David Tua would be anywhere in this era would be by knockout. It would have to damn near be 99.9996.4, you know? Left hook or Wilder's right hand. I don't know. I think it would be, I don't know about Wilder now. I don't know how his right hand is effective now. Let's see this Shaw fight. But David Tua's left hook, to be fair. Because David Tua, here's the thing. We don't know about Wilder's right hand now. We don't know if he still has the power. But we know David Tua, at 52 years of age, still has that power right now. Still has that power. Tapia, what a effing legend. Johnny Tapia, mi vida loca Tapia. It's crazy. I go to my my local market here, and the deli girl was from New Mexico, and we were talking and stuff because I always get chicken and macaroni from there from the deli, you know, good quick hot food, and we were talking, and you know, she seen my box and stuff on, and I asked her because I was like, hey, you know, where are you from? It got around where she was from, and she said, you know, Albuquerque, New Mexico. So that registered Albuquerque, New Mexico. You know, we heard Johnny Tapia, Albuquerque, I love you, my Albuquerque. You know, he would say that in between rounds. And I was like, hey, did you know Johnny Tapia? And she said, yeah, his wife's family was lived next door to her dad. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she knew who that was, definitely. You know, yeah, Johnny Tapia, definitely. Kurt, prime Riddick Bowe versus prime Inca Barabucci would be classic. Yeah, that would probably be the fight for the ages, and I think that would be a fight that Riddick Bowe regretted he had. Because see, here's the problem. Riddick Bowe was a hothead. So understand, before inside the ring stuff, we had to deal with the outside the ring stuff. Riddick Bowe was a bully. And, you know, he probably had a couple inches on Inca Barabucci. And Ike was batshit crazy. He was nuts. So if you would have that fight probably wouldn't even happen, to be fair. Both those fighters would have signed that fight. And they would have signed it, looked at it, stamped it, sealed it off, agreed to the fight. And then once they got in front of each other, Riddick Bowe would have tried to do something to Ike that set Ike off, and Ike probably would have stabbed him in the neck with a pin. You know what I mean? It would have been something crazy because, I mean, Ike, you know, like, people respected excuse me, respected Ike, you know, and Because even Mike Tyson was like, "Nah, I think Mike Barabucci's crazy. I think he's nuts. But I like him. He's a good fighter. But I think he's kind of crazy." Do you think the body shots Dubois landed on Usyk was clean? Some of them were. Some of them weren't. Riddick Bowe was a bad MFer. Yeah, he was, but I mean, Riddick Bowe, understand, Riddick Bowe was a big guy. He had good boxing ability, but he was a bully, bro. This dude sucker punched a guy. Just what was that dude's name? I want to say Elliot. No, it wasn't Elliot. Donaldson or something like that. Boxing Redemption. What's up, my bro? Counterpunch. Thanks for mentioning David Tua, bro. Absolutely. David Tua's a legend, bro. But see, David Tua to this day will knock you out. I wouldn't want to get hit. Listen, let me tell you something. It's fighters that I wouldn't want to get punched by to this day. One, David Tua. Two, George Foreman. Three, Lennox Lewis. Right now. I'm not talking about then and all that back in the day stuff. No, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about January 8th, 2025. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about like, hey, I wouldn't want to get hit with those shots. I wouldn't want to get hit with those shots at all from them now. No. Shannon the Cannon is probably another one. Shannon, yeah! Shannon will hit you and knock your like four of your teeth out with one punch. Who wins? Shannon Briggs versus Deontay Wilder. You know that fight almost happened, right? Like that fight almost happened because see, Vladimir Klitschko wasn't the only person that Shannon trolled. Shannon trolled anyone with the belt. He trolled Deontay too. It's just, he didn't get that fight with Deontay. He wanted David Haye. He trolled David Haye too. Vladimir, Wilder, Haye. Shannon and Cannon was kind of like, he came around and he was very intimidating because, this guy would walk around with his shirt off. Shout out to Boxing Redemption with that New Zealand love. I know David Tua personally, and let me tell you, the guy is an absolute machine. And yes, he still got that power. Who you got for the main event? I got Jai Opetaia. Tell David Tua to inbox me, man, or I'll inbox David Tua. I would love an interview with the legend, with the Tua man, with the Terminator, with the throwing Samoan. I would love that interview with David Tua. That would be epic, bro. So if you know him personally, tell him to look up Counterpunch Boxing News. Tell him I would love an interview with him. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's do it via wherever, whatever. Let's go. Appreciate the love, Boxing Redemption. Chris, what's up, Kurt? Watch David's whole career. He could get outboxed by an outside fighter quite regularly, but wicked left hook. Chris, you're right. Here's the thing about David Tua. Man, I was a David Tua fan. Bro, I don't think I told you guys the Lewis fight. Back in the day, I'm 20 years old. First child, my child was born, her mom was from Guam. So it was all about island stuff around the house. So we had Kelligan, we had Finadini, we had adobo, we had rice, we had, hamburger helper. We had all this nice, island food, beer. You know what I mean? Dude, I worked at Walmart, and let me tell you, I'm talking about boxing with these cats, and they're like, oh man, David Tua gonna get beat by Lennox, because that's when he got his opportunity. And bro, I watched Lennox Lewis outbox David Tua, and I was just sick, bro. After that fight, I was all drunk, mad, disappointed. Sup, Kurt? It's crazy. So you're right, though. Imagine Lennox Lewis doing it, but other guys were able to do it too, like Chris Bird, and I didn't think Chris Bird stood a chance. But he also was able to knock out guys that you didn't think that he could do that against. Because see, back in those days, You had Lawrence Claybay, you had Fresno Kendo, you had Clifford Atn, you had Lamont Peterson. I mean Lamont. Uh, what's his name? Not Lamont Peterson. Can't remember his name right now. It will come to me, but because he upset actually Vladimir, I believe. Salvador Sanchez was going to move up and fight Arguello. Alexis would have won. I mean, you don't know. I mean, those times didn't happen. I work graveyard scrolling, huge fight fan, but watch more MMA and the Olympic wrestling. It's insane. Love it. Shogun Rua was an animal. Look up Shogun Rua. Soccer kicks. He was not the same. What about UFC cage fight in Dana White company? Well, I mean, I watched it back in the day. Absolutely, Frank Shamrock, Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida. Oh yeah, I watched. Yeah, I watched him. I watched classic MMA. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. And then when that era died, it kind of like it was like any other boxing fan. Like when your boxer leaves the sport, and there's nobody to really fill that gap, you don't really want to watch the sport no more because the sport's not a team. One-on-one sports is different from a team sports because you could always love the Cowboys. You could always love the 49ers or the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? But when boxers is more personal than a damn team. You see what I mean? It's more personal than a team. All you really have is the trainer and the fighter, and then sometimes the promoter sticks out, if he's someone like Don King, right? But other than that, you're following the fighter and the trainer. Whatever the fighter does, that's what you follow, and who he follows, what he's about. That's what you're mostly about. If he's from this country and you happen to be from that same country or whatever, or you like his style, you like what he stands for. Fighters give you a sense of something that you can look vicariously and live vicariously through those fighters. And you sitting there and he's representing you as a person, a hardworking person that gets up at 4 or 5 in the morning and works his ass off and does that day after day for 30 years. You have that sense of, hey, yeah, that's my guy right there. I like that fighter. But when that fighter leaves, if you have no interest or no other fighter shows that interest, in you, you don't care. That's boxing. It's fickle. You look like you ain't slept for days. Actually, I have, bro. I went to sleep early. I had mental problems before Tua punched him. You know what? And that's easy to believe. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that one fight, because, I think that happens over time. You know what I'm saying? I think just Ike was crazy. I think Ike needed medication then, and he didn't get the medication he needed because I don't think people understood the extent of what was going on with him mentally. The stuff that he was doing, the stuff that he did, his decisions that he made. I think it was because of his mental state. I mean, his true mental state. I mean, he was nuts. The dude was disturbed. Let's put it that way. He was disturbed. Because I liked Ike Barabucci. And it's crazy. I like the savagery. And it's like, okay, what part of that savagery uh, were the cause of somebody getting knocked out? Like, I look at that Chris Bird fight, bro. When Chris Bird was, Chris Bird was so annoying to me. Chris Bird was an annoying fighter. I love that fight because I love to see Chris Bird get knocked, spark, flat on his face, drooled, leaning from his mouth from that punch, talking to himself because Ike hit him that hard, So he attacked Ezra Sellers and his Ezra Sellers, his sparring partner. Yeah, man, he was crazy. I mean, he was off the chain, bro. Kurt, I know this video isn't about boxing, but could you do a video about these accounts talking about kids? And I'm not doing that. No. I mean, we can get them out of there to show them less of, because see, the more you do that, the more you promote that people should do more of that. Nah, we ain't doing that. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get them out of here. You know, speak more boxing. You know, promote boxing. Kurt, Prime Riddick Bowe versus Prime Ika Barabucci would have been classic. Yeah. Okay, Bowe versus Ike is a toss up. Okay. Oh snap! Your watch. You're up to watch it. Prime Ike and Bowe. Okay. Andy Ruiz was a champ in his era, not much bigger than Tua, and not as good. I think Andy Ruiz was faster than Tua. Now, I don't know about as good. I think Andy had a chin. I don't think Andy hit anywhere as hard. But here's the thing: I think Andy's punches were more explosive because they had more snap to him. David Tua just had these heavy island bones, bro, and he catches you with those island bones, he's gonna break something. And if your chin happens to get caught, oh yeah. DeVille, you up early. Is that a Van Gogh on the wall? I don't know. I don't know what a Van Gogh is. DeVille was trying to recruit a counterpunch model. He counterpunch. He counterpunch. I'm going for David to beat Jai, repping down under, repping Shreveport. Troy Peterson in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. 318 in the building. Thank you for covering the live, Troy Peterson. No problem. And now I'm just sitting in bed and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? What's going on? What's happening? So I start looking at my phone. You know, you start to kind of doodle on your phone, and I was looking. I was thinking, well, what time does the Jai Opetaia fight start? And I knew it started today, but I'm thinking, bro, this is Australia. So if it's anywhere, like if it's in the UK, you know it's going to start around noon, our time, noon 1 o'clock. But Australia's farther than that, so I'm glad I got up. You know, if those Labrador stories are true, Nigel being the Labrador's best friend. If the Labrador stories are true, Nigel Ben's the Labrador's best friend. Sup, Kurt? Just jumped in. Where are we at in the card? They're in between now. They may be going to the co-main event. Who's the Aussie in the middle? She's hot, young too. That ain't the one Eddie was messing with, is it? You know? You think Big George at 70 something still has mustard on his punches? Yep. I mean, we've seen George, man. His dad was like, "You still got that power, Dad?" You know, and George looking, had the hoodie on. He started whacking that bag. Nah, bro. I won't get hit with them shots. Body shots or head shots. I don't want to get hit with any of them. You ain't going to take that old man's strength out on me. Boy, I could hit you and make you shit yourself. I'll turn you into a lean meeting fight machine. How? Bow! Oh! Nah, I'm good. No. Ask Skip. Let's go, champ. Mike Tyson said that he could never fight Riddick Bowe. I think it was because they were from the same hood in New York. I mean, I think, Mike and Shannon the Cannon, they, those guys had mutual respect for each other, like Charles Martin don't want to fight Wilder. I'm like, Wilder's from Alabama. You from St. Louis, Can we get a let's go champ for Shannon? Let's go champ. Let's go champ. The Shannon Hay confrontation will always be hilarious. Absolutely. Because Shannon didn't chin. If he would have hit Shannon the Cannon, Shannon probably would have trolled him for the next 5 years. Sir, are you a boxer, fighter? Used to be. You know, it's crazy, man. I stretched yesterday. I stretched yesterday and I needed help, you know. It's like push my back. So I got my back pushed forward and you know my hamstrings broke because I couldn't even do a crescent kick yesterday until I stretched properly. You know. Brewster, Lamont Brewster, there you go. Stewart, there you go. Kurt, what about Ika Barabucci versus Vitali Klitschko? That would be a good fight because Vitali Klitschko, um, yeah, man, Vitali Klitschko was something else. He was a lot more than than a boxer. He was very aggressive. Charles Martin didn't want to fight Wilder. Meanwhile, Wilder haters claim he didn't want to unify with Martin. Well, I mean, for that to be known, I mean, I was told that they wanted that fight with Charles Martin. It's just that Eddie contacted and got in touch with him first and offered them all that damn money, and you'll be a fool not to take it if you're Charles Martin. See, AJ made Charles Martin a millionaire, and that was in 2016. So, I don't know what Charles is doing now, and I don't know how much money he has left, if he has any of it at all. I hope he does. I hope he invested that, but more than likely, like Charles Martin kind of lost his shit for a while, if you guys remember. Kind of lost it. Like the videos he was bringing out. Was Fury wobbled against Usyk at counterpunch? Was Fury wobbled? I think what we need to understand, man, Usyk's a very underrated puncher. And especially when you keep getting punched again and again and again and again and again. And a lot of those punches you don't see coming. Those punches you don't see coming, man. Those hurt the most. Those are the most effective because you don't see them coming. You don't know you're going to take the shots. It's almost like getting punched by a shot that you don't see is almost like taking a bill that you don't know that's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a bill that you don't know that you need to pay and it's the bill's $700, you know what I'm saying? And you're sitting pretty with 1,000 in the bank until you get caught with a $700 bill. You're like, damn, where'd this come from? Punching is the same way. You get hit with a shot, pow! Oh, what was that? Because it's out of the blue, Kurt, Danny Dubois versus a prime Ika Barabucci. That'll be a good fight, especially the Daniel we have now. Because the Daniel we have now would try to come in, but understand the style of Ika Barabucci, I think, would give Daniel problems. Because Daniel was going to come in with a fighter like AJ with his hands down. Bro, that was a Daniel Dubois night. That was a Daniel Dubois fight. The Ika Barabucci fan club. Usyk combinations and eye-hand coordinations was superior. Jai has more experience in the pros, but Daniel has nothing to lose and knows Jai's style as well as anybody. Usyk has the power. That's why no one can walk through him. His chin is incredible. Kurt, Danny Dubois versus Ika Barabucci. Okay, back to that. All right. Man, I think that Ike, because Ike has a tight guard and, he uses the shoulder roll, and I haven't seen him in a while. I've seen him on the bag. You can tell the power's still there. If that man hits you and hit you, and it just, okay, how much of the power has depleted? How much does he still have left? You know, I would like to think that someone in the 50s, the better years are definitely behind him, but what does he still have left? Was some of it reserved? Was some of this reserved based on the fact that this man really couldn't do much in prison? Was he put on ice in prison? A lot of people come out of prison and they're a lot younger than they would have been if their ass would have been out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you notice somebody that was a drunk or a crackhead or a drug abuser or whatever, and just life was bad on them, and then they get locked up, and then they come out, they're just totally different, until they get back on whatever they were doing. Hopefully they don't, but if you notice someone that's just fresh out of jail, that's like a rejuvenated person. I'm not sure about recarcerated, but you know what I mean, or rehabilitated rather, because he was definitely getting, yeah, reincarcerated. I think you're looking at a different person. He was put in Ike. He was put on Ike in prison. Samoa versus Maury. Oh well, at least we can steal more of Honey and see if he's any good after mauling Makhmadov. Peace to the chat. GHBTV. Counterpunch to you. Mr. Bob. No rematch clause for Jai versus Daniel. Winner takes all. The J. Roos theory. Counterpunch to you. J. Roos in the building, people. Please sub to the J. Roos theory. But you must be at work. Are you in the clouds, my brother? Rehabilitation is non existent. Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, if you're on ice, a lot of times, it's a lot of time wasted. It's a lot of time wasted though. That's a sad thing about prison, especially when an athlete, bro. I mean, you think about all the fights he could have had, all the money he could have made. You know what I mean? And like, I'm surprised that he didn't do anything in prison or any programs in boxing. Like he went underground and became, um, what's that guy's name? Is it Chambers? No, no. Iceman Chambers and Undisputed. You remember when Ving Rhames and Wesley Snipes? Damn, he has Axl Rose in his corner. It's a very sad cause. Left the clouds at 6 a.m. Okay. I'm thinking, man, I'm in Central, so everybody's ahead of me. A lot of brothers get institutionalized in prison and find it easier to go back inside. I mean, yeah, I mean it's just you don't have to worry about much. I mean, you're overall like, what are your goals of the day? If your goals of the day is to really do nothing, it's a lot of mediocrity in prison. It's easier. It's less stress. It's not as complicated. It's not something you have to figure out. It's like, hey, open gate, whatever, get in, see it in 6 or 7 hours or whatever. It's crazy, you know. Oh, this dude has been dying to get the fight. Haha. Kurt, can you imagine if Ike was a southpaw heavyweight boxer? No, not really. Three chord and a hot, they call it. Yeah, 3 meals and a cot. Yep, 3 hots in a cot. There you go. Something tells me this fight won't last long. I just, just something. I mean, these are big dudes throwing leather. I mean, if somebody gets caught, Imagine if Ike was Jerry Cooney. Good left hook to the body. They have to do better with their overall, like, I don't know who's who. Let's see. Who's the guy in the blue? Is that Hooney? No, bro. I don't think that was a low blow. I don't think that was a low blow at all. I just don't I don't think bro, he's holding his Johnson. That punch wasn't that low. I gotta see that again. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so Hooney hit him. Let's see. No, dude, I don't see that at all. I don't know. And the replays were kind of dumb because it didn't really show the left hook to the body. It just showed like a segment before the incident happened. You know, it would suck for Eddie if Jai Opetaia lost today. Eddie be like, man, I can't win. Like, none of my fighters are winning. Oh, good right hand, yeah. Oh, yeah, Hooney's busted him up, dude. Hooney's really, yeah, he's good right hand from Pot Getter. Oh, good right hand from Pot Getter. Pot Getter's, bro, he's rope a doping him. Hooney thought he was gonna come in. Hooney thought he was gonna come in with um. Now Pot Getter has him on the ropes. Good jab from Hooney. Oh, good right hand. Dude, oh, left hook, left hook. Oh, right hand. Ah, right hand. Oh, up, up. Left hand, right hand. All Hooney, bro. Hooney's beating this dude. Look. Hooney goes in for the grab. Ooh. Yeah, he's getting busted up. That ref's looking at him like, I don't know. Because, I mean, he got caught. He was like this. And, ooh, good straight right from Hooney. Right to the body from Hooney. Ooh, good left hook from Pot Getter. Yee. Hello, Cheeky Chops. Pacific Islanders cause a lot of trouble in Tasmania. They should be banned. Uh huh. Hooney's a good fighter. No knockout artist. Lacks power. How long till Opetaia? Actually, Jai Opetaia versus Inca is next. So, yeah. Thoughts on Inui? I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a good right hand from Hooney. Oof. Yeah, let's stop. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Pot Getter's like, yeah. Pot Getter's like, dude, yeah, it's over. He just bombarded him with shots, bro. And then, and you know what? It's like, hey, you have to start throwing punches. If you don't, like, it wasn't a bad stoppage according to the ring because, Pot Getter was still like, I'm still in the fight. I'm on Gold Coast, Kurt. Oh, nice. Jasor versus AJ for the 50th fight in Africa. Skrilla 50, I caught this live stream on the Humble. Always great to see you, Kurt. Skrilla 50 in the building. Appreciate the love, bro. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you showing up. You know, these commentators are smoking powerful stuff, hyping up New Zealand and Matchroom boxing. I mean, that's pretty much where Matchroom is targeting right now. You know, it's so crazy, and I shouldn't think that way, but I am. Um, yeah, so like Dempsey McKean was signed by Matchroom. That's what Eddie's signing a lot of these, these British fighters. I mean these Aussies. He signs a lot of Australian fighters, man, and it's just like okay, you know, like look at Jai Opetaia. You know, I mean he got. Look what Moses did to him, bro. Moses flatlined him, bro. He flatlined him quick, and he didn't play. Hickster, what's your current pound for pound? Usyk, Crawford, Inui, Canelo, then Tank. Really, I can't even throw Tank in there. You got to throw R2 or better BF at the end. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. You have Usyk, Crawford, Inui, better BF, then Canelo. Top five. I thought you were calling the other guy that as a joke, but it's actually his name. I mean, yeah, Pot Getter. I mean, that's his name, right? Pot Getter? A Pot Guider? I wonder if Fury will fight Parker if Parker beats Dubois. He fought his friend Chisora 3 times. And if he doesn't fight him, well, he's already fought Chisora 3 times. So, but I think if the money's right, they'll fight. It would be kind of awkward because Andy trains Joseph Parker. Andy Lee is also cousins to Tyson Fury. So it would be kind of weird. It would be awkward. It would be like, okay, well, who the hell would train who? I mean, I guess you would have still Andy Lee in the corner of Joseph Parker, but then, it would be a lot of, conflict of interest, wouldn't you think? If Tyson Fury then would still have Sugar Hill Stewart then fighting Joseph Parker. I mean, I think it would be good. I think it would be control. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing: Joseph Parker and Tyson Fury, they look at him as an honorary gypsy brother, right? So how I look at it is they can make all the money. And honestly, hell, if Wilder can do it with Malik Scott, then Joseph Parker can do it with Tyson Fury. Because I think what'll happen if Tyson Fury could then, they could get a lot of money. Joseph Parker could then probably just retire because he would be then a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Fight Tyson Fury, may lose to Tyson Fury, probably on decision because I don't even think they would try to hurt each other unless they orchestrate some kind of dive, right? A floating rib shot or something like that, right? And then, Joseph Parker makes being the IBF heavyweight champion. They'll probably ended up making 20, 30 million. And then he can sell off in the sunset, go home to his daughters and his wife and just chill, and watch the fights and go and view. Look, bro, imagine being retired at like 33 years of age because how old is Joseph Parker? 32? He's like 32 years of age. He's still young. So, if he beats Danny Dubois, and it's not a rematch clause, because what'll happen if he beats Dubois, there more than likely be a rematch clause. Because, I mean, you're talking about Frank Warren, by the way, right? So I don't think Frank will not have a rematch clause in place, especially the seriousness of a fighter by the likes of Joseph Parker. I don't think he's that stupid, right, or that confident that Danny Dubois would beat him without putting in a rematch clause. So what'll more than likely happen if Joseph Parker beats Danny Dubois, he has to fight him again. You know, but I think knowing Joseph Parker would probably want the Joshua fight versus a Danny Dubois fight. So if Joseph Parker beats Danny Dubois and Danny Dubois don't have an immediate rematch clause behind that shit, he's gonna fight Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua will definitely jump on the opportunity to fight Joseph Parker because he's already fought and beat Joseph Parker on points. So he knows Joseph Parker is not as dangerous punch wise than someone like Danny Dubois, but he does know that, hey, that's where the money is. Joseph Parker knows that, and that's where that third possible belt or three-time championship opportunity will come from AJ. Some AJ would be like, yeah, hell yeah, give me that opportunity. Let's bump Danny Dubois off, because let's be real. Danny Dubois is a guy that we should all ride behind, but we don't. Let's just be real. And we know what it's for, and we know why we don't. We don't because Danny Dubois' personality don't line up with the idea of him being a champion. Everybody else likes Wilder. If you either like Wilder or you hate Wilder, you either like Tyson or you hate Tyson. You either like Joshua or you hate Joshua. You either like Usyk or you hate Usyk. Either way, though, those guys are exciting enough to like or hate, not a mediocre fighter like or a champion like Danny Dubois. Danny Dubois is like a guy like, he's all right. We talk more about what he does inside the ring because that's pretty much all he has to offer, because it's almost like dealing with somebody that's like a Danny the dog. Let's just be real. He's like a Danny the dog. He's like a guy that, hey, kill. There he goes. You know? So when people talk about Danny Dubois and they talk about, hey, man, he's talking a lot more, that's a good thing. Hell, he got a woman now. His woman's probably coaching him. So I think that's pretty much what's going on with Danny. Danny, though, is not, on that astute level as someone like a Fury or an Usyk, I am Phil, or a Joshua. You know what I mean? But even Parker's not that kind of guy anyway. He's bashful too. I think he's more likable than someone on the playing field of markability, but they're about the same. They're about the same type of fighter. You know what I mean? And they're just really high moments of mediocrity between those two guys. You know, there was more build up from Jarrell Miller versus Danny Dubois than anything, and that was before Danny Dubois was even a champion. Okay, or should I say there was more build up from the guy that the IBF backed, Philip Hergovic, to Danny Dubois, the 5 versus 5. You know what I'm saying? David beat Jai with teach 12 rounds. David might run out of gas. Canelo versus Bud. I've got Bud all day. Troy Peterson. I'm going to go with Bud because I think I think what'll happen is something that we won't expect. Everybody thinks that Canelo's this and Canelo's that. Canelo might be on his last leg and we don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're talking about eliteness. And I think someone like Terrence Crawford, he could choose to fight a different way, and I think Terrence Crawford will fight a different way. And I think Terrence Crawford fights different ways than Canelo Alvarez. But I'm going to tell you, in that fight, it won't be like what people think it will be. And I damn sure know it ain't going to be like him fighting Jermell Charlo. You're fighting a 154-pound fighter. Well, okay, now you're about to fight another 154-pound fighter in Terrence Crawford. Canelo can't be top 5 when he's not fighting anyone decent. Hey, got a good point there. Beterbiev is better than Canelo, and so is Bivol. Bivol already proved it. You know what I'm saying? Bivol showed that, hey, don't come to 175 and fight the elite. If you fight the elite at 175, you're going to get beat at 175. That's what Bivol showed Canelo. Okay, that's what he showed Canelo. Zuma Nelson would put Tank in a shank. Fury would trash talk Parker. He trash talks every opponent. I don't think he would. I don't think he would. I think if he trash talked Parker, I think he would be pretty shitty for that. You know what I mean? It's just almost like what people don't understand. Like Jarrell Miller. I grew so much respect for Jarrell Miller because of what he didn't do based on who he was or based on who he was fighting. See, he didn't like AJ, so it was open season. He didn't care for Dubois either. It was open season. But when it came to guys like Andy Ruiz, he knows Andy Ruiz. And there was no trash talk. I mean, he said he was still Jarrell Miller, but he didn't have to diss Andy Ruiz to be Jarrell Miller. You see what I mean? And it made me understand it. Even after the fight, I mean, he started crying like, man, I didn't even want to do that because, I seen his kid crying and it made him want to cry. And that was like, oh man, it kind of caught me because I'm like, oh, well, Jarrell Miller's not what, when people just think he's just straight asshole. No, this dude has feelings. He has a family. He has friends. And Andy was one of them. And Andy has family and he has friends. And Jarrell's one of them. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things where it made me realize that, hey, a lot of these fights have to happen, unfortunately. But these fights are necessity. They had to fight each other, and then they got a draw. So no one really won, no one really lost. And who the hell is in the middle? Who is that? Is that the one that Eddie's talking about? Eddie's built like Leonardo DiCaprio, ain't he? I think Dubois beats Parker, but a Parker win would put a spanner in the works. It would. Wilder versus McCauley would be great. That would be a massacre. Mm-hmm. Jeff French beat Azuma Make on his first fight. Go back and watch it. Wilder versus McCauley is the only fight left for Wilder. McCauley? Hell no. Nah. You're trying to get Wilder killed. You ain't right. Jose, you ain't right. You ain't never been right. I've been listening to you. You be wanting to somebody hurt. That dude got women problems. You gonna put him in there with happy, destructive ass Martin McCauley. Martin McCauley, you see Martin be rocking, ready to knock him out. Yes. Ready to knock him out. Yes. He's ready to whoop everybody. What's for breakfast? This was my breakfast. This was my cachava with my NutriBullet. I want Parker to beat Triple D. We'll see. Wilder versus McCauley. Real Africa versus fake Africa. Damn. Retro Gaming, Angry Gamer. We have a new Parker. Bigger, stronger. We'll have to see how he is now. Okay. He still got the Brazilian. Who is he? Is she Brazilian? Who is this?
That's right. Yeah, 100%. I feel like he's had some really big learning fights really early in his career. He's fought top level guys really early on.
I want to know who is that? Kurt, Joseph Parker versus Jarrell Miller would be interesting. Yeah, I could see Jai Opetaia though. I mean, he's a big boned guy anyway, Bud will run. Bud will run, so it's not worth pay-per-view. Nah, I don't think Bud will run. I think Bud will box. But of course, again, it depends on what you like. A lot of people like that. Hey, let me come forward and get close to Canelo and do a Belonga and let him knock your face off. Yeah, let me do that. Let's do that. You know, whatever happened to Errol Spence, I think that car crash finished him. Been poor ever since. No, I think Terrence Crawford finished Errol Spence. He's been in there. He's been in there off two occasions. Well, he's fought how many times? He's fought how many times since then? Twice, three times. You know, his ego. He can't help himself. Kurt, do you think Turkey Al Sheikh will pay a Terrence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather? Nah, I don't think that fight is worth really watching like that. As far as because Turkey knows it. See, like Floyd's good. Floyd will always be good. It's just Floyd cared less about challenges. You know what I mean? Floyd ain't gonna fight no one like Terrence Crawford because he doesn't want to be looked at in that light. He doesn't want to be looked at as being the underdog, as being the older guy, as being not the chosen fighter to win. He's not looking. He doesn't want to fight like that because he knows he'll be challenged. Someone like Terrence Crawford now, nah. But see, I think the fair thing would be like if Terrence is 37, okay, that he needs to fight Floyd at 37. That would make more sense to me. And then that's a totally different fight. Floyd versus, you know what I mean? But like if you get younger though, Floyd, 33-year-old Floyd, 33-year-old Floyd would beat a 33-year-old Terrence Crawford. You know. I just think that. I just because Floyd was just that dynamic at the time. You wouldn't beaten Floyd at that time. Did you know about the new discovery? A homunculus is when you inject a chicken egg with a human gunk, and what comes out is a white slug that can spit up 10 meters. Never heard of that. Miller wouldn't trash talk his buffet brother Andy. Like cheeseburgers. Give me Snickers. I wouldn't be surprised if Fury fought Miller next. I mean, what would he fight him for? I don't know. Miller versus Shannon the Cannon. The build up would be fire. Yeah, it would be. It would be. Let's go, champ. I am from Japanese. Hello. Counterpunch to you. Damn, Kurt. Got those Japanese fans. Counterpunch to you. Konnichiwa. In the building. Ike Turner. Who is the weasel next to Hearn? I don't know who's the chick. I don't know if that's what y'all call women there, weasels. Now it makes sense. Aram is God. little G. Clarissa versus Ika Barabucci. Okay. Clarissa. The Gwoat, she calls herself. Yeah, I mean, I've been watching Clarissa for a long time. And Clarissa, man, she's young and she's annoying, And I think a lot of people, though, that has that type of confidence, I think a lot of them are, Floyd used to be like that. Because if you notice, Floyd began to be hated a long time ago. Like that Floyd Mayweather build up, that Ricky Hatton build up. I mean, people hated Floyd. But Floyd did that because he wanted to be hated, because he wanted to market himself as this bad boy and this asshole, this jerk, this unlikable character that you couldn't wait to see get beat up. But that wasn't going to happen because Floyd was equally prepared to kick ass, as well as all that other stuff is to talk mess. You know, I've tried to, but I can't. I can't watch women's boxing. It's awful. The Taylor versus Serrano 1 and 2 fight was lit. I used to watch the Mia St. John fights. The Christy Martin fights, the Layla Ali fights. I used to watch those back in the day. I used to. When Floyd knocked the big show that looked so bad. I don't know what that means. She's on the Billy Collins train. Who is the girl in the middle? Who's the girl in the middle? With this long, beautiful neck. She's hot. Who's that? Clarissa versus Remy Ma for Papoose. Come on, man. Come on, man. Okay, let's see. I don't know who Sky Nicholson is. I don't call women weasels. She is Eddie's mistress. Oh, is that who that is? Is that? Let me see. Sky Nicholson. Yeah, I heard of her. That might be her. Yep, that's who I thought that was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we heard of Sky. Now she's commentating. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, Eddie got some taste though, don't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured that. I mean, for some reason, I mean, I seen her, then I seen Eddie, and then I just saw something like that. I just saw it. You know what I mean? It's just almost like, Eddie. Eddie sitting there. Eddie been caught up because somebody brought some cameras around, and he was trying to talk to her about something, and you could tell whatever he was talking to her about was personal. And how Eddie turned around, it's like, he turned. Yeah, man, it's Skrilla 50 being messy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, damn, Hearns is a lucky man. Yeah, yeah. Yep, she can get it. And then Eddie's getting it. Hearn destroying his family, cheating on your wife, who you have kids with, is nothing to be celebrated. What does Eddie's wife look like? Because you never hear about Eddie Hearn's wife. Which, that's how I would want it. You know what I mean? You don't want to expose your wife to the public. You know what I mean? Your wife, your girl, like you got to be careful that somebody always wants to be seen all the time. Now, you want your wife now away from all the other stuff because, people attack, you know, especially if you're a public figure. If you're a public figure, people will attack your family quicker than they'll attack anyone else because they know that's where the weak spot is. Where if there's nobody to attack, there's no one to use they see to target, you don't have those damn problems. You can just go home and be like a normal person versus, oh, well, hey, here's the deal. You know what I mean? Hey, here's my wife. Like look at Denzel Washington's wife. You never see Denzel's wife a lot. You see her sometimes, but you don't never see her on a bunch of talk shows and a bunch of look at me, see me roar and all that shit. You don't see that. You don't never see that. You know what I mean? His wife stays where she wants to be, away from the spotlight. That's how you want it, you know? Macho Man and Elizabeth. Let's see. Okay. Or I mean, okay. Washington just received a medal from President Biden. What time will it start? I mean, they're doing the national anthems right now, so that's what we're looking at. I'm trying to see, like, I mean, okay. Yeah, you don't see a lot of her either. I mean, um, well, I can see the appeal because, I mean, his wife's shorter, whereas Sky Nicholson, she's kind of tall, so I could see the appeal there. Yeah. Definitely see the appeal. If your woman is a public figure, then you end up with Tilly Givens situation. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Because, I mean, you have to see who you really want. I mean, he doesn't have an ugly wife. It's just, she just not hot like Scott Nicholson is. She looks like a wife versus Scott Nicholson looks like a model. She looks like a runway model that will eventually become a print model when she gets older. You know, are they in the ring in the event? No. I mean, they're still doing events. So Walter just had an upgrade. This sounds like a wannabe the Star Spangled Banner anthem. I mean, they're representing their country. Nothing wrong with that. Who do you have winning today? I have Jai Opetaia winning on points. Inca's a big dude though, bro. Telly isn't all that. I was looking at Telly Swift yesterday, and Telly Givens, y'all call Telly Givens. Um, no, I mean, I no, she's not. I mean, you could tell like most of her. If you look at her, you can tell people that work for what the results are. Like as far as her body wise, that shit was bought. You can tell. You can tell like a bulk body versus a body that was sculpted in a gym. You see what I mean? Like it's like when you're talking about someone that's naturally fine, bro. Those BBLs, bro. Come on, bro. My people are from the Caribbean, bro. I see that shit all the time. That's not impressive to me. You see what I mean? You get off the airport to wherever you go, Barbados, Dominican, Cuba, Puerto Rico. You're gonna see chicks with those BBLs. That shit ain't pretty to me. You see what I mean? That's like because you see that so much. You see the same shit. The belly button's too high. The ass is too big. It don't look real. You see what I mean? No, bro. I mean, like if you look and then if you look at enough girls, okay, that's a bulk body. That ain't a body that you got your ass up at 4 in the morning, ate egg whites, ate 2 or 3 times a day, sculpted. You know what I mean? Got right naturally. That ain't it. That came from somebody's pocket. That came from somebody's checking account. That from went from that checking account to some damn doctor that sliced you open, that gave you BBL and suctions and shit like that. And then you think that's fine. That ain't fine. That's made up. To me, that's the same as a bunch of bullshit makeup and all that, blush and foundation and all that to make you appear pretty and you're really not. Take that shit off and see how you look. Take it off and see how you look. That's what I say to, that. I don't date clowns. Clowns don't interest me. When I mean clowns, I mean chicks with just makeup, just shit all over their neck. I'm like, dude, what is that? Take that face off. That's a clown to me. So as far as Telly Givens, Telly Givens, as far as Telly Swift, you look at her, that's what you see. You see a made up person that's, yeah, her makeup's pretty and stuff like that. Is she an ugly person? No, she's not ugly. But like if you're talking about like body wise and stuff like that, you look at her calves, that motherfucker don't work out like she should. You know what I mean? She don't do the things that I know fit women do. I'm in the film industry, bro. You see that all the time. Fine when you see fine. You see natural, then you see people that should work out that would be better than they should be, but they don't. But then you see people that don't work out at all. They just, pretty much, get plastic surgery and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that's definitely not what it is. I mean, great figure, but see, here's the thing. Like, at what point is that, how much of that is natural? How much of that, Kim Kardashian, that shit's weird. She looks like an alien, and then here's the sad thing. Kim was pretty before all that shit. Now she just looks like an alien. She looks like Oscar De La Hoya, like she hangs out with Oscar De La Hoya's girlfriend. And she knows she looks like she's AI. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely. Wilder deserves better. I mean, the girl that he was with, she was bad. She looked good. I mean, I don't know much about her. I just knew that wasn't Telly Swift. Chamberlain would have punched Ali's face in, and they were gonna fight, and Ali, I don't know, Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, Wilt Chamberlain. Oh, yeah. Well, Kurt, I always wanted to see an Ann Wolfe versus Lucille Reichel. Yeah, it was good. I wanted to see Ann Wolfe versus Layla Ali. Ann Wolfe was, man, she's from Austin, bro. Shannon the Cannon versus Miller for the cheeseburgers. I don't even know if I don't think Shannon the Cannon eats cheeseburgers like that. Shannon is a lot more healthy than you think he is. If you follow Shannon, you would see all the things that Shannon eats day to day. He don't play about his health, bro. Especially when you get older like that, look, bro. That's you have to take care of yourself. Wilder fans blaming the woman for his lack of performance is funny. I love all kinds of shapes except oversized BBWs in bulimics, anorexic. Okay, gotcha. Retro gaming. I haven't seen that spelled in a long time. Okay, David Inca's coming out right now. Hello, how is all? Happy New Year. If I haven't said it before, Oscar Henao, counterpunch to you. Happy New Year's to you. Wilder bought her booty. I bought them titties. I get your own. You heard? Big Pun's voice. Be like Pun. They gon' bust they guns. Yeah, man. Jersey Dude 05. Talk to him, bro. All facts. Yeah, bro. I mean, you see that, man. You go, like, if you go places like that, you see that happening, man. You see that. Isn't Kim K natural? Hell no. Kim Kardashian is the unnaturalest chick. Man, look, listen, let me tell you something. If you ever, okay, here's the problem. Maybe this is the problem. Maybe this is the problem. Maybe you guys, yeah, Inca's big, bro. That's a big dude. That's a big dude, bro. I used to like Britney Spears, but she looks fruity nowadays. Wilder versus Jake Paul, only way that can box and be safe. Yeah, Holly Berry's still fine. Yeah, she's still hot. But understand, Holly Berry, though, came around before all that shit. Holly Berry's like 55 or something like that, 56. How old is Holly Berry right now? She's up there and she's still fine. Oh, let's see. Holly Berry 2024. I mean, she was before all that. But if you look at her body type is something that was, you can tell that was shaped and molded from a gym. You know what I mean? Now, if she had work, it was in her face to try to keep her face from dropping like most people do, which I hope she hasn't done. But, like Holly Berry, even that picture, that's a regular picture of Holly Berry now. And she's still fine and can still get worked. I mean, it's Holly Berry, though, bro. But I mean, somebody like that don't eat like trash. Don't, you know what I mean? So, age. How old is she? She is 58. Damn. Yeah, she's 58 years old. Let's see. Yeah, Holly Berry's, man, Holly Berry is kind of like the Dorothy Dandridge of the time, and needless to say, she played Dorothy Dandridge. Yeah, man, I seen one of Holly Berry though, in like fishnets. I gotta show this to you guys. Like she was just, I was like, oh my goodness, and she was just chilling somewhere. Is that Holly Berry? Damn, Holly. Yeah, Holly, yeah, she's fine, dude. Yeah, Holly's fine. Yeah, she's fine. Yeah. Yep. Monsters Ball made me. Yeah, make me feel good. Scans Rants make me feel good. I was like, oh my goodness. Wait, somebody's coming. Yeah, man. Old school beauty. Yeah, a filthy mole, Catwoman. I remember Catwoman. Like I like Halle Berry, like in Boomerang. You know what I mean? Strictly Business, like that old Halle Berry. That old Halle Berry, you just want to take home, and meet somebody. That Halle Berry. But like, obviously though, like a lot of people, she dated a lot and married a lot of people, and a lot of people said the same things, like, hey, you didn't live with her. But that doesn't stop you from being attractive. But understand, attractiveness doesn't be all and end all. For some people, I mean, if it is the thing, if you're not accustomed to the relationships with certain women, they're both in the ring, by the way. Jaya Opetaia, David Inca, they are in the ring. Big boys too, man. Yeah, David Justice. I mean, and he said he was one of the first ones. Like, dude, you didn't live with her, so I don't know what to tell you. You know, dude, David Inca's 6'6". That dude's like Anthony Joshua's height, and the dude is 10. Look, he's 10-0 with 9 KOs. Hopefully, the fight gets going soon. Ruiz Wilder happen? Nah, I don't think Ruiz and Wilder. I mean, there's no reason for it to happen. Because see, fights like that has to happen based on the demand for the fight. J Lo, another one, fine as frog legs, but can't keep a man. No, Jennifer Lopez though, like she really surprised me, and then like a lot of time, I never worked with J Lo, and I try to keep it positive too. Like, hey, if I don't know, if I haven't met them people, I try not to make a judgment on those people. But I can tell you this. I mean, based on the things that you've heard or whatever, it's not nice. It's not good. You know, um, I'm watching the fight through the zone. Jaya Pataya, 26 losses, no draws. I think 20 by KO from the Gold Coast in the building. Uh, but yeah, I remember J Lo from Out of Sight, bro, and she was out of sight, bro. So yeah, yeah. But like after Selena, like she just got to that different level, and she wasn't really like the same person to other people no more. I mean, because especially in the industry, you hear things more so from people that are more credible, that know who that is. Good in South Park and the Cartman's hand. Both guys live nearby each other in Queensland. Yeah, she was cool, like in Money Train, and then to come to find out that they're not really a Money Train. I like that movie. That's a movie I watch in the morning for some reason. Like Money Train is that movie I watch when it's cold and in the morning. It's weird. She turned into Ika Barabucci. Yeah, but yeah, but very beautiful though. I mean, yeah, she's beautiful. But don't sleep on Inca. Okay, here we go. So we have ding ding. All right, all right. Oh, they go right at each other, bro. They go immediately for punches, overhand punches in the clinch. I'm glad they got a referee that's big enough. Ooh, good straight right for Inca. Inca tries to go for a straight right to the body. He misses. Jaya Pataya Southpaw. Of course, that's the punch to land, to be thrown. Right hand misses. Another straight right. I think that goes to the guard from Inca. Ooh, headbutt. Ouch. Ouch. Be careful. Right hook. Right hook trade. They trade hooks. Right hook to left hook. Oh, this is going. They got to watch their heads, bro. That referee needs to be weary of those. Southpaw versus orthodox. Straight overhand left for Jai Opetaia. Inca goes low. Oh, good body punches from Inca. Good left hook from Inca to the body. Oh, good right hand, Inca. Inca changes to southpaw for a minute. Oh, they're fighting in the phone booth now. Look, they're pushing each other, shoving each other. They're going for the dominance. The ref's like 6'6". Yeah, he was the same ref that he refereed Luis Ortiz versus Wilder. I remember him. Pretty even around so far, though, man, because Inca's, this looks like a rival fight. Good overhand left from Jai Opetaia, though. He has to watch that because Opetaia's throwing bombs, bro. Right uppercut from Opetaia. I think Opetaia would be better on the inside just because he's the shorter fighter. Oh, good left to the body. And Inca is now in southpaw. Jai Opetaia's throwing for the fences, bro. He's leaning in with these shots. He's putting all his body into him. He's sitting down on these shots, bro. Now Inca, he steps back. He goes back into southpaw. It's like he's trying to catch Jai with something. Oh, good overhand left. Oh, good another overhand left for Jai Opetaia. Good right to the body. Right hook to the body from Jai Opetaia. Good right uppercut. Good right hook for Inca. Inca's in the ropes. He gets turned from a right hook of Jai Opetaia. Jai Opetaia looks at him crazy. Bro, that's a crazy looking dude, man. I don't know. I don't know about an upset. I mean, I don't know what his power's like. I know he's 10-9. You know what I mean? And that's a high knockout percentage. But I mean, it's about the caliber of fighters that you're knocking out. You know, he comes in good. Yeah, that headbutt. I think that clashed. Luckily, these are some tough boys. Some good heavy boned, hard headed, hard skulled island cats. Yeah, that punch was definitely low. Do you think the winner of this fight fights Zurdo Ramirez? I wouldn't see why not. Zurdo Ramirez is a pretty tough guy, especially at cruiserweight. I think he's too big for light heavy. Guys like Bivol beat him because Bivol was just too fast. He couldn't keep up with the speed of someone like Bivol. That's why Bivol ate him up. He ate him for breakfast. But at cruiserweight, this is a good weight for Zurdo. So I would like to see that type of fight. Overhand left. Another left for Jai Opetaia. Oh, good right. Overhand right from Inca. Good right uppercut from Inca. Another right from Inca. Left to the body from Inca. Jai's on the ropes. Good left from Inca. He turns to southpaw. He switches back into orthodox. Inca does. Jab for Inca. Right hand for Inca. Oh, good right hook from Jai. And they'll see those punches, they're going to add up. Those right hooks, those short right hooks, when Inca comes on the inside, oh, they trade shots then. Rear hand shots, they trade. Oh, good right to the body and a left upstairs for Jai Opetaia. And see, Inca's trying to get him farther away so he can land his own shots, being a taller fighter. Oh, good overhand right for Jai Opetaia. Jai Opetaia is a beast. So you could tell this is more of a spirited fight because, see, it's like they're trying to break each other's will. See, Inca, you can tell he's not as good on the inside. He needs to keep Jai back. But Jai is coming in. He's a little quicker than Inca. Inca needs that space. See, Inca steps back when Jai Opetaia tries to step forward. He needs that space to to come in and to land his own attacks on the end of his shots. Oh, good body punch from Inca. Overhand left for Jai Opetaia. Left hook to the body for Inca. Another left for Inca. Right upstairs, overhand right for Jai Opetaia. Straight right and a left to the body for Inca on the inside. Now he's smothered. See, his punches don't become as obsolete. He's more of a throwing an overhanded. Oh, good right hook from Jai Opetaia. Followed by another right hook from Jai Opetaia. Oh, good overhand left for Jai Opetaia. I think that hurt Inca. Wow. Oh, good 1, 2, 3 punches. I think that hurt Jai. 1, 2. He landed right up the pipe for Jai Opetaia. For Inca. Whoa. Now that opened up a lot of questions because Jai Opetaia, bow, catches him with that straight left, overhand right hook. Then out of nowhere, Inca's back here where he needs to be. Then boop, boop, boop. He catches Jai Opetaia. Jai kind of stops. And then he holds. Then you can tell that's what it was. You can tell, oh, those shots hurt. Yeah, this is going to be a fight, bro. This is going to be a fight. This is going to be a lot different than what you think it is. Now, this would be a lot different, though, now, if you look at Inca. What if Inca was 15-0, 16-0, 17-0? Now he's only 11-0. And then I think they might have pushed this fight because they could get this fight. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. King Kurt with that early live stream. Absolutely Vincent in. Kurt, what a great early fight. Yo, bro, this is a nice early fight. I'm up and I'm ready. And it's only round 3. Ding, ding. Here we go. Okay, Inca is in southpaw. They're in the middle of the ring. Jai Opetaia goes for a body shot with the rear arm. Straight left. Thrown from Jai Opetaia. Straight to the body lands. Look at that, more than like landed on his chest. They're throwing punches on the inside. Misses with the right uppercut on the inside for Jai Opetaia. I think Jai Opetaia is trying to recover from that 1-2, bro. 1-2 from a guy that's 6'6", bow, bow, and he's on the end of that shot, bro. I think that did. Oh, good right hand, good right hook from Inca. Inca's a switch hitter though. Good right jab from Jai Opetaia on the inside. Jai Opetaia takes a little step back. Oh, good straight, and comes in with a straight left that gets the attention of Inca. The ref comes in and breaks him up for the clinch. Here we go. Straight right. Then a left lands for Jai Opetaia. Another left lands for Jai Opetaia. On the inside. Good combinations on the inside for Jai. Good right hand from Inca. 1, 2, 3. And it's followed with a right chopping hook from Jai Opetaia on the inside. Good body punch. Good right hook from Jai Opetaia. And now these are all close range punches. Close range shots. Oh, good right to the body from Jai Opetaia. If he keeps doing that, see, Inca's just sitting there, and he's pretty much a body for Jai, especially in close quarters. If he keeps that up, Jai Opetaia is going to catch him with something short, and it's going to be nasty because he's not going to really see it. He needs to stay back and keep moving. Oh, the referee warned him from a right hook. Oh, good overhand right and left from Jai Opetaia. They're in the clinch. Good right hook to the body from Jai. Oh, good left from Inca. Jai lands his own left hook. Oh, okay. Oh, good right hand from Inca. Another right hand from Inca. Right hook from Jai Opetaia. Follow with a right hand from Inca. Inca can get him on the ropes, and he can lean him a little bit just to have enough leverage to land his own shots. And look, he should have been doing that the whole round. I still think that's a Jai Opetaia round, but what we seen in that last 10 seconds could be all you need to know about this fight. This fight could go a totally different way. You know, because Jai is quick. He's quick on his feet. He's good combinations on the inside. Bop, bop, bop. He can get those shots in there, you know. And here's the thing about Inca. Inca needs space. He needs that distance because he's 6'6". This guy's AJ's height. This guy's Zilly Zhang in the building. You know what I mean? And that backward and forward. You see that right hand that landed from Inca? Another right hand that landed from Inca. Where was Jai Opetaia? On the ropes like this. Okay, this is not where he needs to be. Jai Opetaia does not need to be right here because the moment he gets there, Inca can step back if he wants to, get that leverage, then he can lean Jai Opetaia outside the ropes. That's what's happening in this fight right now. Round 4, ding, ding, let's go. And this is crazy. This is just round 4, right? It just started, but it's just so much action that's happened in this short amount of time. You know. Jai Opetaia comes in. See, Inca's now circling on the outside. Oh, good right hook lands for Jai Opetaia. Good body punches from Inca. Oh, good straight left. Then he eats a left and a right from Jai Opetaia. You need to do more than just a jab because he was just trying to keep Jai back because Jai was ready to pop, pop. You know, with his own counter punch. Ooh, good left and a step around. Good straight left and a step around from Jai Opetaia. That was pretty. That was pretty. Ooh, good right hook from Jai Opetaia. Ooh, right uppercut from Opetaia. Now Opetaia is coming in. Now they're in the clinch. Now Inca's on the ropes. Inca's on the ropes. Now when Inca's on the ropes, it's the same concept because Jai Opetaia can do that as well. Here's the thing. If Jai Opetaia does that little step back, he may can run into a right uppercut or a left uppercut, depends on what stance that Inca's in. So he has to be careful for that. Good left hook from Inca. Catching Jai coming in. That's where he needs to be. He throws it and he misses that time. Inca circles on the outside. Oh, good overhand left from Jai Opetaia. Oh, good right uppercut from Jai Opetaia on the inside. Bow! He catches him with a good right uppercut. Straight left, right hook. Down goes Inca. Wow, that was quick. Wow, that was quick. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Boom! He catches that boy quick. Inside shots. What did I tell you? As soon as he gets him, he catches him with something on the inside. It's going to be nasty. I try to tell you guys. You know, see, oh, good right hook from Jai Opetaia. He's trying to close the show. 58 seconds left. Oh, yeah. Inca's hurt. Straight left from Jai Opetaia. Oh, right hook lands. Oh, right hook lands. Left lands. Down he goes. Fight's over. Oh, he's out cold. Oh, he's out cold, bro. He's out cold because Jai was throwing them. Bro, he's landing them shots. He was leaning in these shots. Jai was pissed. He got mad. He got that Sugar Shane Mosley. Remember Sugar Shane Mosley used to get mad? He's like, That's how he looked. That's the spirit that I saw within Jai Opetaia when he threw lights out, bro. Inca, bro, he was out, bro. That's a knockout of the year already. Woo! Ouch. This boy's bad. This boy's bad. Eddie, go take Sky somewhere on me, innit? Yo, this boy's bad. Jai Opetaia, people. Jai was the hitman in the last, bro, watch this. Look, okay. He gets in position. He throws the right hand. Right hook to the body. Straight left, right hand. Right hook upstairs. Right uppercut. That's nasty uppercut that I saw. Left uppercut to the body. Another left uppercut to the body. Right uppercut. Straight left. Oh, straight left and a right uppercut. That right uppercut did it. Oh, yeah, that got him in the nose. That's what it was. Ooh, that right hook. Yeah, that right hook. Look, he grabbed the ropes, bro. He was already out. He grabbed that rope thinking it was the arm of Opetaia. And Opetaia was on the outside, ready to lean into those shots. Yo, he's still out, bro. David Inca's still on the floor. He's still on the floor. Yo, he's still on the floor, bro. I think his legs are moving a bit. That's not good, man. That's not good. Oh, bro, he was punching with bad intentions. Because what happened? Inca wrapped. He had this arm. He wrapped around the arm, thinking it was his hand. Bow! Then he got caught flush with a shot from somebody that trains like Jaya Pataya. Bro, this dude got big bones, bro. You don't want to get hit with nobody like that. Usyk is 2.0. I mean, you know what? See, here's the thing. Everybody's a little different. I think Jaya Pataya is a lot more powerful than Usyk was at cruiserweight. I just think Usyk was a little quicker. His angles were a little better, but I think Jaya Pataya is a little meaner. He's meaner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's that island power, bro. You get hit with some shots with them boys and see what happens to you. Bro, he's still on the ground. We're still talking. They should be focused on Inca. And Inca's still on the ground. Bro, fourth round. Fourth round KO. Fourth round KO, bro. Is he up? Are they clapping because he's up? What's the deal? No, he's not up. He's not up. Wait. He's still on the ground. Wait. He's still on the ground. That's not good, bro. Okay, he's up. No, he's up. He's up. Okay, bro, he was knocked out. Look at Eddie. Yeah, Eddie's first one. Good, mate. Good job, mate. Oh man, that was a brutal. But see now, no one. You can't celebrate until he gets up. Yeah, he's up. He's up right now. Now he's not up. He's still sitting down, but he's conscious. He's looking around. They're taking his gloves off. They're unraveling his tape from his gloves right now. Yeah, the gloves off. Yeah, they're taking the gloves off. So you guys just heard that. No, bro. That's crazy, man. He may get a body shot on his record, bro. You don't want that, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you guys, dude's at 11-1 and 10. You know, this is his first loss. So here's the deal, though. You fight someone that has 27 fights, 26 going in. That's a big difference. And David Inca, I didn't know much of him, but I'll tell you this. Here he is. He's up. He's up, yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, he's up. He's up. Thank God he's up because, yo, bro, that was scary. Because the way he went, the way he got hit, the way he wants water. Yeah, get him some water. Get him some water, bro. They need to take him and check him out immediately because, I mean, it's his first loss. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't even think, like I told you guys, I would like to see him 15 fights in, 16 fights in, 17 fights in. This is his 12th fight. Then you're fighting Jaya Pataya. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that was too early for him. But, I mean, he had his own marks in this fight. It was an exciting fight. I think, you know, he's a big boy, 6'6", big ass dude. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua's height. You know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce height, Zilly Zhang's height. Those guys' height, big dude. I think Jai beats Zerto. I think he does too, but I would like to see it. I think that's the next fight that should happen. You know, son of a B Australian one. Get him a daughter. He has hundreds of amateur fights. Well, I mean, that's good and all, but pros is a totally different issue. Yeah, he's getting out of there, man. You know, he's still stumbling around though. He don't have his legs under him. Look, he's going the wrong direction. Yeah, they need to check him out a lot more than they're doing right now. He needs to go to the hospital for examination right now. Inca can be proud of himself. Fought like a warrior. He did. He did fight like a warrior. I mean, he didn't fight. He didn't bitch up. He didn't clam up. And yeah, dude. Kurt, who win Jai Opetaia versus Danny Dubois? See, you're asking me that now because we're all on the wave of this knockout. I see what you're doing. The same thing is going to remain. He's not a heavyweight yet. 27-0, 21 knockouts. James Bash blessing me with that cash. Jai always got that look of a man trying to catch a body in the ring. Damn. Listen, James Bash, appreciate that love. Always, always blessing me with that cash. James Bash. You're right. He looks like his mind. If you look at him, it's like he's thinking about stuff. And what he's thinking about. Let's hear.
He took the fight on 3 weeks' notice. He come here to fight. He gave me a dog fight. I respect that. All that lead up, man. I thought he was going to come out here and box and play games. I respect that, man. He come here and he slugged it out. He wanted his goals, and he showed that. I'll take my hat off today, man. Thank you. Gold Coast. Thank you guys, man. We love this. We live here. We made these moments, man. Hard work every day. Thank you to my Central Coast family, my Campbelltown family, to my beautiful Toronto, holding it down. Man, it's been just preparing for these fights. With my whole family, man, my team. I love you all. It's a team effort that makes these things happen. From the fucking fighter to the trainers to the promoters and managers, man, everyone does their job, and that's why these things are possible. So thank you.
Well, I'll say this, Sam. I don't know about all that Bivol and Bitter BF on the same night shit, but, it's a good thing we see, what he can do.
So it's good to see. Is there some relief in you as well in that performance now to get it done in front of your home crowd? Did that add pressure being back here in front of all these wonderful fans?
There was a little bit of extra pressure, but, there's always pressure. So we sort of thrive off that. We use it as energy. Man, I'm just so happy with the crowd coming out here showing love, man. Thank you all so much.
With the change in opponent drive, did you need to change much yourself preparation-wise? Because we heard Eddie Hearn say before, quite correctly, that even though David Nyika only had 3 weeks, you only had 3 weeks as well, because of an opponent changes everything. So what did that do to disrupt you in terms of your training? I know your mentality wouldn't have changed, and fitness and ethic, but what about the style of fight that David would bring you?
Man, all that style shit went out the window. That was a long fight, and I respect that. He wanted these belts. He kept coming forward, he kept punching, man. Thank you, David, bro. That was a good fight. We gave this crowd a good fight.
He said that style went right out the effing window. I like that. He's a down-to-earth cat, bro.
Like that. So our thoughts and prayers will go with him. But my question is to you now. Is there anyone that can touch you now in the Cruiserweight division in the world?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
We hope he's watching Gilberto Ramirez. He's an acclaimed fighter. You'll train and get ready for it. Will you be ready to go if all of these men in consultation with His Excellency watching at home can get it done for about 3 to 4 months' time? Will we be ready to go?
Definitely, man. I've been waiting for these fights for a long time. We're chasing these unification fights. I'm coming for my belts.
Ooh. There you go. There's the call out. There's the confirmation. There is Jai Opetaia. Ramirez. I'm coming for my belts. Look, and that's what it is.
Family here. This is where we did it all 2.5 years ago, you remember? Since then, you've traveled the world. Any last comments for them?
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, this crowd, amazing. Thank you for the energy. Thank you for the love. I appreciate you guys, all of these. And I'll be back, man. I can't wait to fight here back in the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jai Opetaia. Nick Francis first, please.
And see, here's the thing. You like Jai Opetaia don't really talk much. Say what he needs to say. Gets the hell out of there. He wants Ramirez. That's what we wanted. That's if he fights and gets past this fight, which we've seen him do. That's what it is. Inca, isn't it in Yinka? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Um, like fights like Better BF would be dangerous. I mean, because here's the thing: they both fight on the inside, and it would be like who lands the shots first. Where would Better BF's punching power be at cruiserweight? You have to consider that. You know, Chet Perry, Jai resembles Bivol. I could kind of see that because all this, you know what I mean. This like this area right here, and you know what I mean. Sure, like the eyes, yeah, I get. It. He does kind of resemble him, but more like a bigger Samoan version of Bivol. You know what I mean? Less Asian. You know what I'm saying? Better be if it's too old for Jai Opetaia. I don't think he's too old for anybody. I just think here's the thing: when you have someone that age of Better BF, you have to fight specifically for specific things. Just like Zili Zhang. I think Zili Zhang and his crew knew, like, okay, fighting Bakali or fighting someone like I get Cabello, you better get your ducks in a row because you have to understand that, like, you don't have all this youth and you don't have all this time and you don't have all these opportunities to keep losing or, you have to get it right the first time. If you don't get it right the first time, you could end up making a bad business decision in boxing that will cost you, a possible title fight. It can cost you millions of dollars. Okay. Better BF cooks the whole cruiserweight division. Better BF, if he comes to cruiserweight, I think, see, Better BF, bro, I mean, it depends on what happens on the 22nd of February. That is the main card. We're all talking about Danny Dubois versus Joseph Parker. But understand, the main event is Better BF versus Bivol, part 2, again, for all the belts. Okay? So that's what it's about. I mean, so Jai is Bivol's evil twin. Yeah, he might be like Golovkin and Max because Gennady Golovkin and Max Golovkin are twins. The guy that you seen with Golovkin, the Asian guy you seen with Golovkin, that's his brother Max. And his brother Max was one hell of a fighter. It's just his style wasn't like Golovkin's. Golovkin had more of a marketable style. You see what I mean? But understand, Max was a good fighter too. Ramirez versus Jai would be a really good fight. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm looking forward to it. Samoa versus Mexico. Bro, war.
This is January the 8th on a Wednesday night. That was spine-tingling stuff on the Gold Coast tonight.
Yeah, dude.
Incredible atmosphere. We're talking about a very, very special fighter in Jai Opetaia. It's not just the belts at the cruiserweight, it's the belts at heavyweight as well. Like I said, Australia's #1 pound-for-pound fighter, and now I think this is a guy that should enter the pound-for-pound rankings. Huge future ahead. With that, Jai moving forward now, does that now firmly become in the conversation now? We've been quiet on that heavyweight discussion and we know there's unification, but he could now potentially go down as one of the all-time greats in the discussion, potentially in future with guys like Alexander Usyk, one of the best ever. Yeah, I think Jay's humble enough not yet to talk about the name of Alexander Usyk. I'm not, that's my job. For me, Alexander Usyk was the greatest cruiserweight of all time. He became undisputed. Then he moved to heavyweight to become undisputed at heavyweight. Jai is going to pick up all the belts in the cruiserweight division to become undisputed. And then we want to push him into a fight with Alexander Usyk as well to try and become undisputed at the heavyweight division as well. You have to search for greatness. He's good enough to do it. I believe he's the only person right now in the division, cruiserweight or heavyweight, that can genuinely give Alexander Usyk a real fight. But to do it, we've got to pick up every belt in the cruiserweight division first, to give him the credibility and potentially the money from His Excellency to make Alexander Usyk get in the ring, one of the all-time greats. Trust me, in 12 to 18 months, Jai Opetaia against Alexander Usyk is an all-time classic. And why not do it at Suncorp Stadium as well in Brisbane on the Gold Coast?
Look at Eddie. Eddie's doing his job, isn't he? Yeah, you're right. AJR, Golovkin and Bivol, yeah, they share. Yeah, they do share Korean blood because their mom was Korean. Absolutely. James Bash coming in with that love, with that cash. CBS ducked all the Opetaia smoke. Zerto fight next. We'll see. Well, because I mean, at some point, you have to understand that you can only duck someone for so long before it just looks stupid, right? You can't you can't keep ducking people or avoiding fights because people will. Because what this is what'll happen. The fights that you're fighting won't get really showcased. They won't. People won't care for them. People won't watch them. The ratings will go down on the network. The network will then take warning to the promoter. Then they will signal. They will message the promoter. They get wind of the promoter that hey, nobody's watching this fight. The Nielsen ratings, the hits are down. The pay per view sales are not there if it's pay per view at all. They will see the dip in disinterest in that fight. Like they will see that, hey, no one wants to see this fight that we've seen. Who is the fight that people want to see this fighter fight? And if that fighter is not trying to fight the fighter that everybody wants him to fight, he's going to gradually lose credibility. See, the same thing happened to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury versus Wilder, that fight should have happened in 2023, not last year. If it would have happened in 2023, boxing would have been more on fire than ever, and people wouldn't have looked at Tyson Fury like they looked at Tyson Fury. Here's the skinny mate. Tyson Fury lost a lot of credibility before even fighting Alexander Usyk. So I mean, a lot of people had turned on Tyson. See, because remember, AJ lost credibility from the meltdown that he had from the ass whooping that he got beat by or from Alexander. Okay, that bullshit speech that he put up. People start looking at that and like, yo, what's up with AJ? So people had left the AJ train and went to the Tyson Fury train. And they were like, okay, the only person that can beat Alexander Usyk now is Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury, of course, catching wind of that, came back into the sport, right? Because he's supposed to have been retired, but he came back in the sport and offered to fight Alexander Usyk right after that fight. And after that fight, he tried to fight Joshua and all that, and Monday is the deadline and all that stuff. So, all that happened. Okay, so, but then he started playing games with Usyk, and then those negotiations were trash and people were waiting for it. Then the biggest thing that happened in 2023 was Tyson Fury ducking Alexander Usyk, taking 30% out of 70. Okay, so keep in mind, Tyson Fury lost before he even got in the ring. You know what I mean? He lost a lot of credibility. He lost a lot of juice. He lost a lot of respect, before he got into the ring. So that being said, when the fight did happen, people were like, okay, enough is enough. It's about damn time we finally seeing this fight. And even then, the fight gets postponed because he gets cut. Remember that. And then he loses more credibility. So, those type of things happen in the sport. So I think what happens in this situation with Jai Opetaia is a fresh fighter that wants to show how good he is. And he's big enough. He's a big boy, He's not a small guy, and I think people now need to realize that if you're 6'2", 6'3", 6'2", 6'3" is not small, bro. 5'8", 5'9", 5'10" is small for a heavyweight. Not 6'2", 6'3". That's ridiculous. Okay. I don't think I think what Eddie needs to do, Eddie needs to focus on Jai Opetaia, and I know now he's learned that hey, I'm not going to give up these fighters from the Gold Coast. I'm not going to give up these fighters like Bivol, or give up these fighters like Golovkin, or give up these fighters like he had these fighters. He had Usyk. You know what I'm saying? He still has Bivol, but he had Usyk. He had these fighters, and what he did was he gave them up. He let them go elsewhere. He thought all I needed was Canelo. When he got Canelo, he did start smelling. He starts smelling himself. He did. I understand that. He did. But no, bro. I think Eddie Hearn, his gold for Jai Opetaia is to build him to ride that Opetaia train all the way to the heavyweight division and see if Jai Opetaia can duplicate what Alexander Usyk did. If he's able to do that, he doesn't no longer need AJ because AJ's almost out of the picture anyway. He just has a couple of dedicated fights. But understand, he'll try to keep those fights away from each other, just like Shelly Finkel did with Vladimir and Wilder. Okay? So, Angel V. I believe David Benavidez is going to target Ramirez. And does that fight belong on pay-per-view? Absolutely, it belongs on pay-per-view. Would prefer all these fights to be on DAZN at a nice, fair price for everyone, U.S. and the U.K. Okay, because I want to see people fairly buy fights that are reasonable and give them a decision to buy it versus a temptation to steal it. If that makes sense to people. Because what happens is these PBC fights and the prime Al Heyman shits that they have, they're so greedy, they want $69, $79 for this shit. But what happens is people that got a Fire Stick that's jailbroken, right? They'll look at this and read it with their eyes closed. Bro, get that shit on Fire Stick. Why are we going to pay $79, $80 for this fight when the DAZN fight for Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk was half that? You see what I'm saying? You're paying $39.99 for an undisputed or a unification heavyweight fight. But then yet Prime, for some reason, wants twice as much for less competition. Why would we want that? Why would anyone in their right mind would want to pay $80, $90 for this shit when they could steal it? So, all of those fights that we want to see, I want these fighters paid. I want these fighters compensated. I want everybody that's involved with the fights to be paid fairly. But you have to have the fights fairly priced. You can't be in there talking about $69, $79, $89 for a fight, and then you only got one fight on the undercard, and that's really not even the fights we want to see. Because let's face it, when was the last time that PBC, Fox, Showtime, Al Heyman has actually produced something that you really wanted to watch? I mean, especially if they got in-house fights. You don't. And even in the fights we wanted to see, Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, that's really the last big one. You see what I'm saying? That's the last big fight, and that was over a year and a half ago. So we have to look at what it is. Make sure the fights, if David Benavidez takes on someone like Ramirez, yes, it should be on pay-per-view, but no, it shouldn't be $70. You see what I mean? Like, let's be fair about what we're doing to the people that support us. We support these fighters. So if you want $89, $99 for it, understand, whoever buys it, it ain't going to be enough to compensate the fighters as it would have been if you chopped that shit in half, actually been fair, and then give people the overall decision to buy this shit. You're not going to buy a fight for $80, but you'll buy it for $39, $40. That's fair. That's fair. You know? Opetaia would stop Usyk at Cruiserweight. Usyk getting old. I mean, if he went to Cruiserweight, it would be dumb for him to do that with someone young. I wouldn't recommend that either. How would they fight go, in your opinion? I mean, why are you so fat? I don't know, dude. Bro, anything over $50 is atrocious. Absolutely. I ain't never paying for a No DAZN subscription. They are scammers and part owned by slave masters. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. If the card is like Days of Reckoning, I'd pay $80 for it. Well, here's the thing. Did you pay $80 for Days of Reckoning? See, Skrilla, we have to understand, if you didn't pay $80 for Days of Reckoning, that's the cap's already like it is. Like, listen, if you didn't pay that for something that you knew was all that and then some, why are we paying that for something that ain't? Hell, I mean, I appreciate it. Like, that's good that you would, but then you didn't have to, so we don't. So we won't. Jai is a real life Samoan warrior. Yeah, he is, bro. A dude. Yeah, he's doing good things. Humble dude, not a shit talker. But then again, he's not so timid that he's unlikable. He's likable to a point where you like a guy like that that knows how to, you know, definitely say what he needs to say and then do what he needs to do. I feel like Canelo is waiting for David to move up to cruiserweight and drag them back down to 68. I feel like that's the only way we're going to see a Canelo Benavidez. I don't care about a Canelo Benavidez. That fight is done. And honestly, I think if it like Canelo and Benavidez, you know, I don't think that that's what we thought it was. I think when Canelo was being offered a Benavidez fight, I think it was him choosing to fight him or choosing to fight Bivol. Fought Bivol. We need Days of Reckoning 2. Yeah, that would be cool. I think Days of Reckoning 2, I think, it's a popular enough venue, fight card, or experience to sequel it. Okay. Is Jaya Pataya fighting tonight? He's up, bro. That fight's over. Terry Abbott, that fight's over. CJNZ in the house, bro. New Zealand in the building. Counterpunch to you. Benavidez is probably going to be the favorite now because of all the ducking. Bro, I like Jaya Pataya, David Benavidez, Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol. I think I think those are the kings of North. Those are the kings of light heavyweight and cruiserweight. I think they could really make something stick. And I think, here's the only problem with Artur Beterbiev. He's already 40 years old. If he was a little younger, maybe 38, that shit would be lit, and there could be a lot of potential fights because we have time to see these damn fights. We have time to see what Artur can still do at an elite level, fighting these dudes, battling these dudes. He hasn't been beaten. He's beat Bivol. Bivol has a chance to beat him again. Then they get to move up, or whoever moves up or stays where they are, to see how good they are. Maybe Bivol might stay and fight David Benavidez. You see what I mean? Those type of things. And honestly, here's the crazy thing about that. I like Artur Beterbiev. I like Dmitry Bivol. I like both fighters. And it's almost like it's petty for me because it's a different reason that I want Bivol to beat Artur, and it's not because Bivol's better than Artur. It's because I want that petty bitch that he had as a wife to eat crow. Because I don't want to give her the glory. I don't want to give her the satisfaction of seeing my boy get beat again by decision because, Artur, get him no fois. All that bullshit, bro. And she's all happy talking. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, how terrible you are. You're a horrible person. You know what I mean? And see, the thing is about Bivol, and I don't want to get it twisted. I don't want to sound like a misogynist because I'm not. I just know bitches when I see them. I know bitches when I see them, bro, and she's a bitch. You don't do that. You don't do that to anybody that you had kids with or had any kind of feeling for and you want their downfall, especially if that person is help feeding you and your kids. I don't buy that at all. Yeah, Hannibal. Absolutely. Out of line. Out of line, bro. You wishing bad on him, and that's pressure on that dude. You know what I'm saying? That's pressure on that dude for going through that stuff. And he kind of mentioned it without mentioning it. If you notice, it's like everything, I've been going through. You know what I mean? He got to be talking about that broad. So, yeah, I mean, that would be the only thing because, Artur has beaten Bivol. And if Bivol comes back, he can tell her to eat crow. You know what I mean? But see, and it takes mental toughness to still keep focused on the job at hand, knowing you got all this personal stuff. Because me, honestly, I don't think I could do it. You know what I mean? If I'm going through a breakup, then you're expecting me to do something to or perform at a certain level. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm not going to have the mental toughness to go through that. I'm going to have, bro, we're going to have to postpone this shit because I'm not ready right now. That's what I would probably do, knowing me personally. I'm like, nah, man, I got these issues with my wife. She's trying to take my kids. She's turning our kids against me. You know what I mean? She's now in a position now. People are, you know what I mean? Like what she did, she made her shit private. Because I used to go to her page and she was with other dudes and going out on trips and expect Dimitri Bivol to pay for that shit. Bro, you know what I mean? And I looked at her, I'm like, and I think enough people have inboxed her and like, yo, you a dirty, slimy, you know what? And I think you're wrong for what you did. And I think that's why she made it private, you know? But no, bro, I couldn't handle that. I couldn't handle that issue or whatever. That's why I don't look at Wilder a bad way. That's why I give Wilder props. I mean, even though I do think he should have waited. You know what I mean? Because, if he had problems like that, he didn't have to reveal what the problems were. But see, since we know that he went through with the fights, we found out what the problems were. The problems were, hey, you're dealing with somebody that you found out that was disloyal to you, that betrayed you, that cheated on you, that you were there for, and all that. And you had to deal with that throughout fighting some of the biggest and the toughest fighters out there. You had to take on Joseph Parker. You had to take on Zhilei Zhang, the big wall of China. And then you had to do all that shit dealing with Telly Givens. Bro, that's tough, man. That's tough, man. I wouldn't want that type of pressure on top of those distractions that made extra pressure for me to get in there and knock somebody's head off. Because it don't always help you when you got all that stuff going on if you can't focus on the job at hand. You know what I mean? That's why Zhilei Zhang almost knocked his face off. Because he worried about her. Then bro, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Stop it. Wilder is mentally fragile. Well, here's the thing. If he's mentally fragile, Bill, that means he's more mentally fragile, isn't he? There you go. Joseph Parker beats Triple D. I'm pretty sure, Bill, based off the fight that Bivol has made off of Canelo, Bivol's a rich man too. I don't think rich has a lot to do with it, especially when your job is at hand, especially when somebody's slandering your name, especially when someone's talking behind your back, especially when somebody's is praying for your downfall and stuff like that. It's bad, bro. It's bad for everybody. If it's bad for Bivol, it has to be bad for Wilder, regardless if you like them both or any of them. It doesn't matter. If it's good for the geese, it's good for the gander, right? There you go. Art Garfunkel art. It's hard to be friendly. I hate people. Is Loma really retired? I think so. He should just retire. Especially when you just lose a fight you thought you won. This was too soon for David. Yeah, I think so. I think it was too soon for David. Like they said, he took it for 3 weeks. Took it in 3 weeks' notice. And, I think that's a big issue. I would want him to fight a good, But, I mean, that's what happens. His 12th fight, you're fighting for a title, the IBF. Bobby Collins in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I even feel really bad for him. He was just building his career. Yeah, and he gets knocked out by Jai Opetaia that's in his prime. Jai Opetaia is in his prime now. He's a beast. Hannibal, he is a beast now. Absolutely. So that means we never get the infamous matchup against Tank versus Loma because the OG fight before Ryan. I mean, understand before Ryan was ever thought of, that fight was on the table for Tank. Tank's 30 years old. Tank should have took that fight when he was 24. When Ryan Garcia was like, he was very uncertain. I remember Ryan back then. Ryan was just with maybe 7 or 8 fights at that time. Ryan was nowhere near at that point. Blame Floyd Mayweather, bro. Blame Floyd. Floyd didn't want that fight for Tank until Tank made him mad and he wanted that fight. But by that time, Lomachenko had already got the 135, and he's like, well, why y'all want it now when guys could have had it when I was calling you out, calling you to get your fighter in the ring, Floyd. Bro, blame Floyd. Floyd, look, if you're a bad matchmaker, you're going to be a bad promoter. Did you hear about Wilder versus Curtis Harper? I didn't hear about Curtis Harper. I heard about Stephen Shaw, not Curtis Harper. But I mean, they're pretty much on the same level, to be fair. Why can't Wilder accept any personal responsibility? I don't know if he can or can't. I don't know. I haven't been around him. All I can tell you is, because Bill, I know more than you. So I know what happened. And like some things I say, but some things I'm not going to say. Not on this platform, anyway. you know. But I think taking personal responsibility for stuff, I would say, well, man, you know what? I can't fight right now. But you got to remember, he's been out of the ring for a while. And keep in mind too, if somebody, look how long it's been. He knocked somebody out in 2022. 23, he didn't fight at all. But that was the year that he found out old girl was cheating on him. Wilder's brain is poisonous. Pop off. his trainer, his girl, his next door neighbor, never him. Well, I mean, if he loses, he just loses. But the personal responsibility is something that, I thought you were referring to in his personal life. I have a feeling that Devin's going to bounce back against AB trash ass fight. Trez, what a fight. Yeah, that was a very good fight, man. That was a very good fight. James Bash coming in forever with that cash. Salute to David. Took a lot of risk with this fight against Opetaia after fighting the best. Others got to be smooth. LOL. Eddie's got to take care of him. He does have to take care of him. I hope he got a good purse for showing up on 3 weeks' notice. You know what I'm saying? He got knocked spark out. You know what I'm saying? He got knocked spark out tonight. And I think people should respect the fact that he did take this fight on the 3 weeks notice. He didn't protect his O. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't worried about, what'll happen if I lose. No, he was just wanting to take the fight because he knew that, hey, I have the skills that could possibly overthrow the IBF champion, Jai Opetaia. Wilder was telling the ref only you can prevent forest fires. Better BF KO's Opetaia. No one can beat Jai. Ghetto Tech. Uh-oh. Listen, I can't wait to see these fights now. And this opens up a whole new interest, people, in the Cruiserweight division. Because remember, the Cruiserweight was like the dark division. It was like the unpopular division. You had, the light heavyweight and then the cruiser and then heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So it was light, dark, light. So now we get to see more of a light in a division that is known to be boring or not as important or not as exciting. Jai Opetaia is there. Zerto Ramirez is there. Bivol, I think, Dimitri will be there. And Artur Beterbiev was a cruiserweight anyway in the amateurs, so he has no problem with acclimating to a cruiserweight because a lot of people look at him as an overgrown light heavyweight. So we have a lot of fights that could happen, bro, and I can't wait to see these damn fights take place. Jai versus Zerto is the best fight to make. Okay. Chris, yeah, but this could be damaging for David as this was a nasty KO mentally and could not come back from it. I hope that's not the case, Chris. But I think, and they should give him a thorough examination. Eddie wants Opetaia to face Fury. Eddie is hurt that Usyk beat all of his top UK boxers. Eddie not thinking straight. No, Eddie wants Jai Opetaia to fight Usyk, not Fury. He wants him to fight Usyk so he can get those damn belts because he's looking for someone to solve the Usyk problem. Andre Martin, Kurt, CP, man, how far estimatedly is the the main event. I'm at work, so I'm not informed. Andreas Martin, it's over, bro. It happened. It was a knockout in round four. Jai Opetaia knocked out David Inca in round four. How would Oscar De La Hoya versus Ryan play out as a fantasy matchup? Ooh, I don't know. Ryan's really he's a lot. He's fast, but so is Oscar. I think Oscar's a lot bigger. Um, uh, I think what'll happen. I think Oscar would run right through Ryan, especially at welterweight. He would run right through Ryan Garcia because Ryan doesn't. His defense is not up to par. His counter off the hook, anything besides the hook, he's mediocre. Ryan Garcia is like a very, very fast version of Wilder because he's a one trick pony. He just has the left hook. He has nothing else. It's fast, it's quick. If it catches you, it could hurt you, it could take you out of here. But that's really all he has. His defense is trash. You know what I mean? The only thing that's second to that is his marketability. But I mean, that's not even really, that's more of infamous than famous. People will, a lot of people not don't even like Ryan. You know what I mean? They dislike Ryan. So he's more infamous than famous. And then Oscar, but you have to understand, Oscar with the jab, he has to be careful with the left hook because that's what happened to Devin Haney. Kawasaki versus Froch. I don't know, dude. Probably Kawasaki because Kawasaki knows how to win. Carl Froch knows how to take it to you and hopefully gets a knockout like he did with Jermaine Taylor. Okay. He got them white flanks. Do you think Inca is ruined now? No, but then if he is, it would be sad and he took it too early. But let's hope not, Frank. Let's hope he's fine. Let's hope he lives to fight another day. Let's hope he's healthy as he ever was. And I hope that's not the case. Tank versus Floyd. Good fight. Which Floyd? Definitely has to be an ideal younger Floyd. Andrew 23. Salute Kurt. That's true. Wilder's actually fighting Curtis Harper, not Stephen Shaw. Okay, cool. Curtis Harper, good choice. Good tune-up fight. Probably BLK Prime because they don't have a company no more. So, David Tua versus Jake Paul. Jake Paul's not stupid. Now, I think David Tua would probably take that $10 million. I want $10 million. And I'll throw the fight. Yeah. Hell, I'll do it for 5. But see, he would want to knock me out. And I don't know if I could do that. But you'd probably have to sign an NDA like, hey, if you don't get knocked out, you're only going to get half the money. That type of stuff. And then that would suck. But anyway, Ika Barabucci versus Klitschko's. Both Klitschko's? I think he beats Vlad, but I think Vitali may get him. But then again, he may... yeah. He'll beat one out of two. I don't know if he'll beat both. Who beats Pretty Boy Floyd? Nobody. Pac-Man versus the Monster, 122. I don't know. That's a good fight, bro. Because, see, believe it or not, Manny was pretty much one-dimensional at that time. He just had that straight left. You know what I mean? He got with Freddie, and then Freddie, incorporated that right hook. Kurt, which state got the cutest girls? No. I think you have to give me a choice. Zelenov beats all Floyds. Inca needs a new team. He's a boxer that loves to scrap. California all day? I don't know. Because, Georgia, they got some fine women in Georgia. The Carolinas. I haven't spent a lot of time in the Carolinas, to be fair. Canelo versus Oscar, 154. Me and my friends argue over this, I say Canelo would have stopped Oscar. Well, I mean, Canelo at 154, I don't know. I mean, body shot, yeah. He would probably take he would probably take Oscar with a body shot. He would catch Oscar to the body. He would eat a left hook to land that left hook to the body. That's how it would happen. Who would Wilder get as a coach since it's not working? I don't know. I mean, who wants to deal with that type of issues? Because you're dealing with fighters like, you know, I think it's kind of. I think he just needs to stay with Malik. Anthony Yemi, counterpunch to you, brother. I think Oscar boxes Canelo's head off. I mean, he could box Canelo's head off. But see, Canelo has one thing. He has a chin of granite. So does Oscar, though. But I think the left hook to the body is definitely something that, you know, that will hurt you. And I think, and we've seen Oscar put down. He was stopped once in his life. He quit his last fight, but he was stopped by Bernard Hopkins. And I think the way Canelo lands that shot, I don't know. That would be a good fight, though. Best boxing announcer of all time. I don't know, man. Best boxing announcer? Shit, Michael Buffer, Jimmy Lennon Jr., one of them. Moses versus Opetaia moving up. Who do you got, Kurt? Moses versus Opetaia. I don't know. Because, see, there's levels to this, and Moses is already there, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. Marciano is a tomato can. Nah, Marciano was just good in the division that he was in. It's just the division that he was in wasn't as popular as the division ahead of him. So, best southpaw of all time. Pernell Whitaker. Shakur versus Shane Mosley at 135. Shane Mosley would destroy Shakur Stevenson in 4 or 5 rounds. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sugar Shane Mosley at 135 was more than likely the best lightweight I've ever seen. Yes, better than Julio Cesar Chavez. Yes, better than Roberto Duran. I think he was better than any of those guys. I think Sugar Shane Mosley was the best lightweight I've ever seen. Period. And someone like Shakur that gets on his bike because he gets hit, no. He wouldn't stand a chance against Sugar Shane Mosley at 135. 135, he will be destroyed at 135. He would look like a novice pissant in front of Sugar Shane Mosley at 135. No. I still think Oscar robbed. I still think he robbed Oscar first fight. No, I think he beat Oscar the first fight. I think the second fight was a lot closer than the first. Prime Mosley would have beaten Duran. Yeah, I believe that. I think no one beats Sugar Shane Mosley at 135. The speed, the power that he had at 135, bro, nobody was beating Sugar Shane at 135. I'm sorry, nobody. That's it. Kurt, what do you think? Kurt, what do you do now if you're David in hindsight? What is the biggest mistake to take this fight? Well, I mean, yeah, it was a big mistake, but I mean, he did what he did. He did what he did, man. He took the fight. He took the fight. So, it is what it is. EJ versus Virgil Ortiz, Cowboy Stadium. Let's go. Texas boys, let's do it. Yep. Everything is biggest from Texas. Texas beef ribs, Texas barbecue, Texas steak. Yep. Texas, baby. At welter, not on the Barkley night at middle. I think Virgil would stop him. I'm not sure. Got to see it, though. Hell of a fight. Hell of a fight, guys. You know, let's see. We got one more. Who is the last counterpunch of the day? The last counterpunch of the day. Who we got? Who we got? Jai Opetaia is a beast. James Francis. Teofimo Lopez versus Paulie Malignaggi at 140. That would be a boring fight, bro. Because Paulie doesn't have the power to stop Teo. And it would be almost like someone like we've seen Sandor Martin do a boxing job on Teo. And I don't even know if that would stop Teo. Teo would have to fight someone with some power to be respected. You know, Jai Opetaia is a beast. I look forward to his fights. He gave us a great, exciting knockout. And understand it is all, well, it's 7 o'clock here now. So we've been on since 4:20. It's 7:20. We got 3 hours in the Counterpunch Live. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. We got more videos coming soon. In fact, I'm supposed to go live at 10 a.m. So hang out with me at 10 a.m. We got a lot of stuff to discuss. Yeah, that boy did go to sleep. Sushi, Boki, he did go to sleep. But love you guys. Be blessed. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. And stay tuned for another live coming at 10 o'clock. And everyone has been counterpunched. Peace!